Y'all want y'all full names online? I think I'll be able to see the screen just like that. You can edit your name.
Yo. Welcome back to another episode of That's Absurd Podcast. I go by the name of Juno, a.k.a. Melvo.
It's your boy, Gene AP.
And your boy, Gray.
You know you can edit your name on the screen?
Man, I don't mind my name being on the screen, bro. It's my name. What's going to be the problem?
All right, we're living in strange times.
But nonetheless, what have you guys been up to, man?
Enjoying quarantine, man.
Yeah.
Being at home, eating all my snacks.
But social distancing.
Yeah, social distancing. Keep going out every other day, looking for what do you call that, toiletries, because that doesn't exist at Sam's Club or even Walmart, bro.
Toilet paper?
Even Walmart, just going out there trying to find toilet papers. Because I don't know, there's no point in
just buy wipes, though. You guys got to upgrade.
Yeah, the wipes are available, bro.
Yeah, that's after. That's after. You got to use toilet paper first.
Oh, you can just
wipe.
bypass the toilet paper together. Just go wipes.
Wow.
There's no need to kill both plants.
You got to dry up first. You got to.
I can see the logic.
Straight wipes.
But yeah, nowadays because the people leave the wipe section completely full, and the toilet paper. I don't see how they don't do the math. Let's go right to the wipe section.
And the funny thing is, I look on my toilet papers they're made from Arkansas. They're not made from China.
Okay.
There's the point of people buying mine, so I guess.
I'm about to really upgrade. I'm ordering a bidet from Amazon.
The ones that came from China are like the cheap one, the single sheet.
Single ply.
Single ply.
That nigga been wiping his ass with Chinese paper.
Yeah, right.
That nigga single ply for his whole life. Ain't no difference.
We use straight Charmin.
The one that you use if your heads go through the
Thumb.
Put the thumb in the butthole, bro. You gotta use that Charmin strong shit, bro.
Yeah, we use that triple ply and Charmin, that Bounty.
Yeah, I mean that's about it. Other than that, I'm eating all my snacks, man. Can't stay fit, eating too good. But, yeah.
What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing to not catch the Rona, bro?
Not much.
Oh, man. I mean, I've been washing my hands, so that's nothing new.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you guys leaving the house, or are you guys staying home all day?
I'll probably take a drive once in a while here and there, just to see what it look like outside. It's like a lot of places are like ghost towns.
Yeah, I'd be home all day anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. I don't step out unless I have to. My wife be running the errands more than anything.
I'm watching people wearing gloves inside their house and wearing masks inside their house. I'm like, why the fuck are you wearing a mask inside your house and gloves and shit? Just it's not like the coronavirus could just walk into your house.
They're living with it.
Kick down the door. Kick down the door on you.
This shit is crazy, bro. These people are fucking weirdos, bro.
we gotta see if we get Dr. Barry on the podcast for to get some advice on this.
Maybe next time if we still under quarantine, because it looks like we're gonna be under quarantine for a good at least 3 weeks.
Listen, we're gonna need a whole maybe 2 months, a month, if they actually want to get something done. Because this whole half measures that we're taking, it's not really a quarantine. It be ghost town. That's just by people's choice. You can literally leave your house anytime you want. The only thing that they're enforcing is a curfew, which does absolutely nothing for the quarantine. You know what I'm saying? So if I say this humbles America, if anything, though.
Bro, these folks refuse to let us work at home, bro. Like, I'm still having to go to work and sit at my desk and do IT shit from my desk, remote into people's computer. Like, I could do that shit from my house.
Yeah, that's how they do. Look at just today in San Francisco, they've been telling Elon Musk to shut down the Tesla factory for a week now. Wow. He keeps refusing, pushing back down. He said he's gonna do it by the end of business day Monday. Some of these companies won't give a damn, bro.
Why would he need to shut down?
Because they say all non-essential businesses they don't need y'all working. So only.
But the thing is, they're asking a whole bunch of factories to create stuff.
Now I'm saying now he's just saying that. But see, now he just said today, okay, I'll create it. That's just a slick way to, you know what I'm saying? You think all this workers gonna be creating this stuff? He's gonna say, all right, you have to go do that. The rest of y'all still go back working on the cars.
Yeah, the assembly line still gonna be making them Teslas.
Yeah, you can see why.
They're gonna make a couple masks on the side.
Because everybody
The stimulus package ain't big enough, man.
listen, because they've been every other place shut down. Elon just working away, refusing. He's like, okay, he's gonna get to it. They're like, bro, we need all you're putting your employees' life at risk. His employees don't care because they're all well paid anyways. So they're looking at this as I'm saying it's a loss if they do have to work. And he got production he has to meet. He's the new guy coming into a whole new inventory. Any little delay could could knock him off from actually breaking in. He's breaking into a whole new market. You don't want any slowdowns. So I can see what he's trying to do. Yeah. But that's the American businesses, man. Some of them are just cutthroat, man. Yeah, they want you to come in. They don't want to hear it. The fast food employees, all them stuff, all the low skill workers that people's always making fun of. Look how quick the system shows you how reliable, how needed they are.
Yeah, they're the heroes now. So
yeah, they're a vital part. Everybody has a role. People think like it's just nothing, but as you can see, when that comes down to nothing, when you're in a business or you're a salesman or you're all that shit don't mean nothing. When we're in a crisis, what's that got to do for us? That don't mean the damn thing.
Yeah, I had to change the name. I had to put Melville on the screen.
Well, hold on. What about me?
You can change. You can see where you can edit it.
I can rename it. Hold on. I'm able to edit it from where I'm at.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it shows you that everybody plays a role, man. Everybody be thinking that the like I said, the low skill employees, they're now the most needed part of society right now.
Yeah. Bro, and these it's getting to these Walmart workers' heads, bro.
I ain't even bother.
I'm seeing memes and shit talking about, oh, how y'all be disrespecting Walmart workers, how y'all need us and all this shit. I was like, bitch, shut up. I could go get that shit myself. You don't have to be there.
Like, we were disrespecting y'all because y'all never working. That's the issue. Are they actually working now?
Bro,
the janitors feeling good.
Bro, they got these people feeling very important right now, bro.
You know, Walmart employees stay in the back room. You never could get any help. So that's the issue. If they're actually working, then yeah, they're real heroes. Oh yeah. So you know, those are the real heroes right now. The real MVPs, the real MVPs is the self-checkouts.
And you definitely know the self-checkout. All they need is a few robots in the back to come out and stock the shelves. All these motherfuckers is gone.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Self-checkout don't need that Rona break or nothing. You already know things are changing. There's a few Publixes that got self-checkouts already.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's going to take effect. Yeah, it's
starting to take effect.
Yeah.
The one up my way has a good four spots. They started testing them out certain places.
But even when I go to these stores, I don't want to talk to a cash register. I'd rather go through self-checkout. At this time right now, I think the self-checkout is safer than actually talking to a person at the register because you don't know what the bitch at the register got.
That's true.
But also you got people touching the all that stuff.
Yeah, but after every use, they have somebody come wipe them shits now.
Well, at the very least, when you go to any store, when you get back to the car, just wipe off. I think, who knows? I'm not really too stressed on the Rona thing. Like I said, I just came back from Chicago last week, right before we went under lockdown. It was the best thing that could happen to me.
That's why we didn't record here, because I knew both y'all niggas just came from traveling. I don't want y'all bringing that shit over here. We got to do this shit virtually.
That's just executive.
Oh, yeah, we came from the same area, too. Look, but when I went, they just shut down the city for St. Patrick's Day. Wow. That's the business day of the year. So everyone left by the second day there. The city was like empty. And that's the real way you get to see Chicago. You get to actually move around with traffic. Lovely. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you travel around now, you get to see Orlando. This is how it feels like to be. This is how it should be. We need everybody to be inside the house, not all in the way, man. You don't have no reason to even take a toll road anymore.
Bruh, you're not even lying, because I used to have to take the toll road to get to work in an hour. Now I just leave the house whenever I'm ready. Exactly. I'm at work in an hour. No problem. No toll road or nothing, bro.
Yeah, man. Don't let everybody get in the way. It's like a utopia, bro. It's different. And they're already showing the ramifications from the U.S. being how it is. You already see, like, L.A., the satellites are showing that the environmental repercussions. There's gonna upside. Smog is down.
The
You see
pollution there.
pollution's down. You see a couple of wildlife going in areas they didn't go to in a while because people aren't there. So they might need to declare a couple of days like this, maybe a couple times a year, just to, you know what I'm saying, just to calibrate some shit.
Yeah, just to let the earth rebuild and clean itself.
Yeah, maybe like 1 week a year, something like that. But your boy Trump wants everybody back in work ASAP, man. He said,
yeah, this nigga talking about getting back to work before Easter.
yeah, by Easter, exactly.
This nigga wilding.
The funniest thing I like though is because he finally got an employee that won't shut up. Each time he says something, his head scientist is like, well, we're not just gonna say that. They just be fucking back and forth. So that he's the head scientist. So each time Trump says something, yeah, the doctor. He refused to play ball. Like Trump said, yeah. Trump said we could get this whole thing. I think it'd be good. They're like, well, people, let's not just say that. Every time they give him the mic, he cuts right back to the truth. And the shit is hilarious because he's telling people that we can't get this thing out maybe till like a year. Trump's like, man, I told people, I stepped over that, told me, can we get it out, quick, it out? The guy said, yeah, but, there might be ramifications you do it earlier than that. Trump ain't trying to hear it. This might be either the cure or this how we get the zombie apocalypse. But that doctor's following protocol. He ain't gonna be the one to blame at the end of it.
You got to fact check him, yeah.
Yeah.
Trump been real gangster lately, bro. Trump been gangster on the press conferences.
Oh, yeah. He checked the guy the other day.
He checked everybody.
Yeah, that right there, man.
Yeah.
y'all seen when the reporter asked him why he keep calling it the China virus?
Okay. Yeah, the China virus.
That shit had me rolling, bro.
This is from China.
That's some obvious shit. That's what people do all the time. Like when you see little white kids acting bad in the stores and shit, you say that's some white people shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this shit came from China. This is some China shit. This is some Chinese shit.
But they're saying, because he's the only one that's calling it that. The people that go before him calls it code. What's it called? Cody, was it? Code, what's the actual official name? COVID-19, whatever it is.
COVID-19, yeah.
COVID-19. Yeah. Everyone calls it COVID-19 or coronavirus. As soon as you get on the Chinese food. Like, he can't, like, where are you picking up this deliberately? Like, he just wants to throw the attention back on them because, we had late response. And not to mention, no diseases do we call it after the location. We call it around the area that it's at, like Ebola, the you know what I'm saying? But that's like a province and area. We don't call it after the whole nation. That it's called
he was upset.
The whole country.
He was upset.
He had to get away from Corona. I don't know, like Corona had a.
It didn't have enough sting to it.
That's bad marketing, you know what I'm saying? That's
yeah.
like,
Well, the thing was the Chinese people said it came from U.S. soldiers.
Yeah, I know there's been rumors of that. There's like a Chinese diplomat said he won't be surprised if it came from U.S. soldiers.
Yeah, so Trump had to put a debt to that.
But that wasn't a big thing.
You fucked up the brand.
Exactly. China's
can't let the Chinese fuck up the brand.
This is like the second thing that came from that same area in China. None of them was called the Chinese disease. By Trump's logic, would call this Chinese disease number 3 because SARS came from them. It wouldn't make any sense. That's why they all have actual names. You can't just name them from China.
This is what you have to do to shame these people so they don't release none of this shit again.
They're not deliberately releasing it.
I know they're not, but they the one. This shit came out of China.
It did come out of China, correct.
Okay, so we need China to step their shit up so this shit don't happen again. So you got to shame them a little bit.
Yeah, they're about to.
They're about to recover. Their market. Matter of fact, they already opened up all their Apple stores.
They're about to restore activities. All of it. Yeah. They're about to restore activities normal again. Yeah.
By the time we look up, we might be.
Yeah.
We might no longer be the number 1 economy in the world.
Hey, get your drink on, bro. We drinking, bro. It's virtual, bro. Get your drink on, bro.
You guys told me I don't went downstairs.
You out here looking like a peasant, man.
I got Sunkiss. That counts for anything.
In true dad fashion, you see Nate with his headphones. In true dad's fashion.
These are Beats by Dre.
I guarantee before we over, one of them kids gonna run into the room and say, "Hey, Dad, what you doing?"
No,
you got the camera leveled, like
it's because I don't have the camera system set up. That's why my camera looks through. This is my regular laptop camera. So the pieces I need for this laptop,
you just
takes a micro
USB, bro. You're not used to this technology shit. You need a microphone and some headphones. That's what you're used to.
What's y'all thoughts on this? Y'all think it's actually like you think it's overreacting, or are we just
niggas is dying, B.
Partially, I think it's overreacting, but
Bro, it is not
Really
overreacting.
I think it's still overreacting. Because the people that are dying right now, okay, it's overreacting in the sense that if you never took the regular flu shot, then you're just as vulnerable as you've ever been. It's not any stronger.
Not really, bro.
How is it not really? It's not any different than strand. It's not like any stronger of a strand. But the people that tend to take the flu shot are elderly and children. This children's gonna be.
Nah, this ain't the same shit, bro.
People are dying too. Like
If this goes, you can fight the flu. You can
most of the people that have this
fight off the flu just by over-the-counter medications. But this shit is
no, it's not.
This shit is different, bro. This some Chinese shit, bro.
No, it's not. Statistically, it's not even any worse. The flu got like 70,000 bodies a year. It's not if nowhere. This right here is nowhere.
Yeah, but this has the potential to do worse than that if it goes
because they had no vaccine. That's the only difference.
Exactly. That's why this shit is worse.
But you got to imagine, majority of people don't take the vaccine shots. It's only elderly and children that's going to take it. And children are more immune to this one, so it's not affecting them. So only really people that's in danger are the elderly. So really, that's who the lockdown needs to be. That's why now
go pick that shit up somewhere.
Listen, we probably done had it and it's gone by now. That's how
I didn't have it, nigga.
I'm just giving you an example. You might have had a hard sneeze last week. That was that Rona getting out your system. Because if you're young and violent, it's not always. It's just like the flu. It's not. Majority of people that's gonna have it, that's middle age is gonna come and go. Bro. It's not even that bad. Just like the flu. Sometimes people get a walking flu, but if you have pre-existing conditions or you're of that age, and it's crazy because this one right here, kids are even more immune to it than middle-aged adults because they tend to have different types of coronaviruses already. This is just a different strain.
Some 12-year-old girl just died from that shit.
There's always outliers. This is got the lowest fatality rate in children.
Nate, I want you to go.
Children have very weak immune systems. As the lowest
outlier.
You see over there in China, you see how much bodies they caught. It might have maybe 1 or 2 children of all that. So they kill thousands over there. But I still think it's an overreaction. Seeing places like I seen like folks like in Haiti throwing a fit. I never took flu shots anyways. Was this thing gonna make a damn difference?
Yeah, they got worse thing to worry about than.
You got nothing. That's what I'm telling you. This is nothing, bro. This is an overreaction. I can see why U.S. is freaking out because that's the biggest voting demographic. These old folks about to get the hell up out of here,
bro. It's not overreacting, bro. There's like there's over 25,000 cases in New York.
Yeah. They could be.
Hold on. So like,
I guarantee there's never a time when there's 25,000 folks in New York with the flu.
There's flu kills 70,000 people in the U.S. alone, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 70,000.
There's more cases of
kills 70,000.
I understand that. But there's not 25,000 people all at once that have that flu in this short of period of a time, bro.
It could be, bro.
This shit just got here.
And we don't know if it just got here. We just started testing.
This is something new.
Bro, the shit just got here.
We just started testing. Remember
I understand that, but the shit just got here.
It ain't just got here.
Like January.
That was the first confirmed case. That's why they expect it to go up each time they're testing. That's why it's been going up each time testing because this shit probably been everywhere already.
That shit flew in here from fucking China, bro.
Okay, it flew in here since January.
That shit came with a made in China tag.
Listen, it's been here so long, it's filed for citizenship. That's what I'm telling you. We just hear about it now. It's allowed to vote probably by now.
Hey, the thing is how it's spreading like so fast. Like
that's what I'm telling you, bro. That's why it's serious.
All the way to U.S., not in Haiti, not in.
It's crazy. It's barely in Africa. I think it's like in one country, but they're saying that might be because Africa isn't. I mean, Africa in itself is a country. I think it's only like the one. Africa's a continent. I'm saying
it's not. The thing with Africa is it's in the hotspots. It's in the metropolitans of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not all over the continent.
Yeah,
but that's because there's not a lot
technology.
Of people going to those places. So
here's the thing:
hotspots. It's in like Nigeria.
Someone made a good point the other day. They said they like to say Africa. That they say it's rural. They don't have the technology, And then now they're saying when they're saying that they don't have a lot of cases, it might just because they don't have technology, they're not reporting, they can't find out. It's just some bullshit. You can't have it both ways. You know what I'm saying?
Did you guys see that that Nigerian pastor that was saying he's gonna go to China to go cure
Heard about it, yeah.
coronavirus?
There you go.
That nigga went to China. That nigga was in the hospital 2 days later.
Yeah.
Bro, he had a whole sermon about how he's going to China to kill coronavirus. That nigga didn't make it. That nigga didn't last 2 days in China, nigga.
Religion's getting in people's head, man.
I just got a text from Dr. Barry. If you guys, when this feeds up, if you want to get him on one more to knock out some of the myths and all that, if you want to call him in, we could tie him into the
if he's available, we can.
Yeah, he's available.
Yeah, tell him hook up his cam and send him the meeting code.
But how much time is there a timer on there that we can open? Or do you want to?
We're good. Whenever he wants to join in, we can let him join in.
All right, let me text him.
Send him the code.
I'll send him right now. That you sent the right. You made sure that was the right one you sent.
Yeah, the last one I sent I'm not gonna put it out on here because we might put this video on YouTube. But the one I text you, the last one.
Yeah, in my opinion, people are overreacting, but I could just be my own American bias and big-headedness.
I would say let's okay. So what's the deal with like buying up all the toilet papers?
It's nonsense,
bro. And people stupid. That's it, bro.
Like,
listen, if anything, we're gonna start getting bidets. They feel like the Europeans are gonna look at Americans. They're finally becoming civilized. These animals are now starting to get bidets. That's a big thing that's been selling online. So
my thing is my thing is, okay, this coronavirus hit. Why toilet paper?
People are crazy, bro. They act like this is Ebola.
I mean, but even with Ebola.
Ebola, they act like this is cholera. You remember how cholera people were shitting in the wrong area? Yeah, they act like it was cholera.
Did cholera make you shit?
Yeah,
cholera is not even making shit. It's from also where you shitting in ponds and dirty, you know what I'm saying? It's
diarrhea,
yeah. And so it's also from that. That's what, remember
it's like E. coli type shit.
Exactly. Because remember when they found out what caused the outbreak that caused like 30,000 deaths in Haiti was because the UN was...
They dumped the water,
They dumped off the feces in the water. Exactly. And they killed all those people. So...
But nonetheless,
by Trump's standard, they should have called that Haitian shit.
But this is the thing, like,
you win shit.
Why
you win shit?
one of the symptoms for coronavirus isn't shitting. So I don't know why people ran out and bought toilet paper.
From what I heard, it's like they're saying like paper toilets is like mainly manufactured from China. So if this is going on in China, so they might not be able to get like much
toilet paper.
Toilet papers, like.
Like, who's making the wipes? Because the motherfuckers making the wipes ain't had no issue. Huggies, all them people, they ain't making.
Bro, because
I had to find out. So I look at the like the toilet paper I use, and that shit said it's made in Arkansas.
Okay.
Oh, okay. But even those will get bought. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what brand is that?
It's the what do you call that? The Charmin.
Okay, that's what I use.
Also have the members mark from Sam's Club.
Nate, what's that one ply shit made? Where that shit made?
I don't know. We use wipes around here, Huggies. Our parents' choice. If you want to be broke,
you still using baby wipes?
Yeah, we have the stack. That's what we buy around here. We have.
There's adult wipes, right? There's wipes for adults.
That's for suckers because it comes with less. You gotta be smart.
They're cheaper than the baby diapers, bro.
Oh, definitely not. And it comes with less. You buy the big one. Remember, because kids, they expect kids to go to the bathroom. You buy the baby packs are huge, bro. They come with a lot more in it. The adult wipes, they're also smaller and it comes with less.
I'm using Charmin wet wipes, bro.
Listen, that's like a wipe you wipe your nose with, bro. You're gonna need like 7.
No, nigga, it's fucking toilet paper. It says flushable, nigga. The shit says, make sure
these aren't flushable. Yeah, wipes
be clogging up your toilets, bro.
Wipes aren't. Yeah, you're right. Wipes aren't flushable. But
certain wipes are flushable.
Correct.
The
baby wipes aren't flushable.
That they sell for babies ain't flushable.
Correct. But you flush them one at a time. You're good to go. When you're a grown up, you buy the grown up wipes that are flushable.
Facts.
And even then, I heard that the adult flushable wipes are just marketing. There's no such thing as flushable wipes because they're having that issue in New York where you go down their drains after. They call these things called fatbergs, where it just builds up after a while. Someone actually have to go down there physically and scrape it. It's like arteries. It's of fat and feces that builds up off because the wipes don't break down in time.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't have a septic tank. If you don't have a septic tank,
I don't have a septic tank, but I'm telling you, this is New York. You don't have that in New York.
They build different. It's
that's New York. There's people going down in the sewers to hear that. It's still
that's built different though. You gotta think like that shit's coming from like what 20-story apartment. You know,
all right.
20-story apartment from like 100+ units.
Yeah. So either way,
so it can't compare that. Coming from one house where you got like 2, 3 people, 5 people maybe. Nah, that's not the same. Yeah, but okay. About the stimulus package. So what do y'all think about that? I mean, they haven't said so. It keep getting denied. But you already know the rich people already got their money.
It's the Democrats.
Nah, the rich people ain't got them. No, it's both. It's both. First,
the rich already got the money.
The Republicans.
Because the Fed bought like 1.5 trillion worth of assets from the stock
bonds.
That same day.
That don't mean that rich got their money. That's different.
Somebody bought that, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody bought that. Another for you to buy, somebody got to sell.
But the bonds were never risky anyways. You know what I'm saying? The bonds were always safe.
They were crashing. Money was out of there.
But that's the thing about bonds. They're guaranteed a certain amount of return anyway.
And the funny thing is, they bought it, but it still went down. It still worked. So those people who wanted to sell, they still sold.
Yeah, that's what they knew that was going to happen. I don't think there was.
So like you got the Fed just holding the bag. So it's like people just like say, "Fuck it," like I don't want this shit anymore. Fuck it, you can have it. And they held the bag and they took the money.
My thing is how they just throwing numbers. They just make it up. One time it's 700 billion. Next thing you know, 700 billion. Then it's $1 trillion. Now it's $2 trillion, bro.
Yeah, $2 trillion. And they announced that they're gonna give like a limited amount of money, like for the stock market. We don't get that kind of treatment.
Yep, it's crazy, man. Which one is that? They said it got upgraded. Is that Barry calling in? I text him.
Where?
I was seeing a little.
It said it got upgraded. The little box.
Yeah.
The media got upgraded.
No, once he joined in, it won't show that. He should just be able to log in once he has the code.
No, it's so good. They had just give a notification said that I'm upgraded. That we're upgraded. Is that? But
yeah.
They just trying to upsell us. We ain't about to pay for it though. That's just upsell shit.
Listen. The thing is, isn't that, what really hurts about this is the fact that a week ago we're saying how Bernie's done for America to be Bernie. And it's like everything people's pledging right now are all out of Bernie's playbook. Now they want to bail out the middle class. Now there's $15 minimums.
All right, there go Barry.
So he been on. So how you guys already have the photos preset?
We in the building.
Hey, what up, Dr. Barry?
What's going on?
How you doing, bro?
I am glad to be able to join the Illustrative Podcast. That's absurd. I'm excited.
It's your first time? No, that's not your first time on.
It's the second time, but this time he's actually in it. So last time it didn't come through properly.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, he did. Oh, he's been on. Maybe that's like his third time because he's called before. But there was one time all his audio
didn't record properly.
Okay, you can hear us
out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were just speaking about the Rona and all that. We were talking about.
I love and appreciate that we're practicing our social distancing right now.
Yeah, that was Juno's idea.
Yeah, these boys just came from traveling. They coming from Chicago. Raymond was in LA. I don't want them niggas over here.
You gotta keep them far away.
Far away.
Juno's Gray's doing that's doubling down in the hot spots because he did go from Chicago straight to LA. All you got to do is stop by New York. All you got to do is stop by New York.
That's a negative, so I'm good.
That's funny. Was the lockdown there when you was in LA, or was it after?
After.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed the lockdown I left the day the lockdown was taking effect in Chicago, so that's why I left because they started shutting down the bars. But the city had already left the night before. There was O'Hare Airport was packed. It looked like a scene from Walking Dead. So I'm glad I dodged that bullet.
Florida's coming, y'all. Just let me prep y'all now. Florida is coming.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's coming for the regular folks. But if you're in healthcare, you still got to be out
Oh,
there.
I'm traveling free. I got there's no travel restrictions on my car. I'm going to and fro.
Well, you're a doctor. They're gonna tell you they're gonna meet you right here. Where are you gonna go to?
No, they're gonna let me go back and forth.
What do you mean? Where do you expect to go to?
Home. I can go home, hospital.
Oh, I don't mind being at home. Lockdown don't bother me. I'm at home anyways most of the time.
I mean, when you in a wash crew, wash crew don't matter about this ain't nothing to me because I was already going from work to home. I didn't no difference.
It's no different, right? Yeah, when you wash, it don't make no difference. And I already have a son that's homeschooled anyway, so it don't really make a difference. Nothing changed.
Not a single thing changed. I've been like, oh, okay, all right. don't go see nobody's house. All right, I wasn't going anyways.
Exactly. But what do you think? I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to be I'm thinking it's kind of like a overreaction, which I already told you online. I remember you told me this was coming.
I told you it was coming. I tell you, the problem is that I truly believe that our president was going to fuck it up, and he did royally.
He called it early too. We didn't argue. I was like, we'll get over it. People are.
I said this is going to be worse than Katrina.
That's what he told me. I was like,
I said this is going to be worse than Katrina. I say I don't see it right now. I said I don't trust this guy. I know he's not going to.
Body count 3,000.
Katrina was like probably 3,000. But from a public health standpoint, Katrina only affected that area. Yeah. Right.
That's what I was trying to tell these boys because they figured that we're overreacting. I'm like, this is not overreacting because how fast it's spreading, motherfuckers gonna die.
Motherfuckers gonna die. What I really want to ask is like, how serious is this? Like people are dying from what? From like having a hard time breathing? Or?
Well, that's what's killing most of the people. The respiratory compromise that it tends to occur is that it presents early like the flu, shortness of breath, fevers, cough. But once it gets to the lungs, it attacks the lungs in a certain way that we're just not, like the flu does not do, the regular pneumonia does not do, and we have no treatment for it. And the problem is because it's happening so quickly, we can't even keep up with demand.
You hear that, Nate?
Like that's
I've heard all this. This is the news, man. I've been following all this.
Yeah, that's our biggest issue is that we literally cannot keep up with the demand of people who are about to get sick as quickly as they are. That's really the biggest issue. Again, if you stretch it out, we can deal with it, but we can't deal with it as fast as it's coming.
Wow. It's a population one. I think I seen some statistic out of Palm Beach where the population was like 1 million something, and they only had like 100,000 beds.
Oh yeah,
I think that even might be too much.
Too much. That's probably a little too much.
It might be even less than 100,000 beds. So you know that if the thing hits over there, they're gonna be massively overwhelmed. But to me, here's why I mean that. Here's my hot take. I say that it's over. I think there should be a lockdown. It should be a lockdown on the elderly immediately. It's no different than the flu. When you guys saw people get your flu shots, 9 times out of 10, the majority of people aren't getting the flu shots. Those that are the elderly and the children, and they're the most susceptible. And this one right here, it's the elderly that's the most susceptible. Marketing to everyone, just making this a more of a pandemic when it's really the elderly and those that have a pre-existing condition you should market it to, because you know what I'm saying, those are the ones that are most affected by it.
The problem is, right, like if I tell the elderly sit home, right, they're gonna sit home, right? Yeah. Kids gonna sit home because they got nowhere to go, right? Yeah. The problem with just like the flu, it's y'all young invincible folks, right?
That's killing them. Exactly.
Who bring that flu right from spring break, right from the beach, right from the club, and then y'all give it to grandma and grandpa, all right, and then kill them, right? Correct. So that's the big issue is that y'all it's y'all young kids who are killing the elderly, right? It ain't the elderly, right? Exactly. So that's why we gotta put y'all on lockdown because we can't if we don't put y'all on lockdown, y'all kids not gonna sit down. But y'all ain't gonna sit right there.
But this is what I mean as far as the lockdown, because now they're finally getting hip to it. Like Publix and them, they're having 2-hour windows, where only the elderly can go shop. This is what should have already been implemented. Elderly, just like they should have elderly, they should have already done that. This whole getting everyone to move in one beat. Here's the issue of that, because now people that's young, anytime they get paranoid, they're gonna go to the hospital. They're taking up necessary spots. They could survive getting sick off this. It's the people that need it that can't. That's what I'm saying. So the hospital beds are going to be taken by too much, by over prescribing it in a sense. overdiagnosing or giving it handing out, I think you're taking up more resources when really we should be telling the exact class of people about it because they're the ones that need to be in the hospital right now. You don't need no sick person. So
taking up
the hospital beds.
I mean, we're sending a lot of people home from the hospital. We're not bringing everyone inside the hospital who needs to be here. But the problem is that again, this is the worst time to have it, right? This is cold and flu season as it is, right? All right. So people is already going to fill up the hospitals just because it's cold and flu season. Right. Yeah. And now you add a disease. I don't even know what it is. You may have the flu, you may have the Rona, right?
And you can't risk it.
And I can't risk it, right? So now I got to bring you in. And before, what we used to do, especially in the hospital settings, we used to like, all right, we're gonna put these people in a certain wing of the hospital where the air doesn't get recirculated because that's what kills the people on the cruise ships because that air recirculates over. So Rona just passes back and forth, right? But the problem is that most hospitals don't have enough beds for that, right? So it started out as, you're only going to be on this section, and then it started leaking out. Like, you know what? We got to put you now instead of just that wing, we'll put these people on like this side of the floor. Right. Like, again, I'm out for this week, right? Like, I'm already sure by the time I get back, right? Like, one whole floor is going to be taken for just those types of patients. I'm almost like.
They might end up with the whole hospital, bro. If we're gonna be serious.
So how was it? How was it when you were there? When it comes to like supplies and protection.
For your workers? So this is what happened, right? So I just finished working 20 days straight, right? Wow. So I worked before Rona like really took off, right? And then as Rona was taking off, and then the fear was setting in, right? So as in the beginning, my first week, chill, relax, and then I went away, and then literally we couldn't find no masks, right? Because we had family members, right? Which I don't blame them, right? Stealing masks, stealing gloves. So now when I come to go look for a mask, like I got to go to the nursing station and ask them, can they grab a mask from the back? Because now they're hiding the mask. And then the hospital CEO, right? Like now they're having town hall meetings, right? Because now employees are stealing masks, right? Because again, and that's when that level, of course, the level of fear just kind of shot up through the roof, right?
That's the media. That's what I mean.
Oh yeah, no, that's 100% true. But again, these are health professionals, right? These are people who's supposed to know, right? Like they're supposed to know the ins and out, and they're just as scared, right? And that's when you know like some shit's going down, right? When you have the people who are like in the field, right, just as scared as the people in the general public, right? You already know the problem is there, right? Especially because we see the general public don't care, right? Once we see the general public don't care. And now I got to worry about going to Publix and touching that avocado or touching that cereal box, right? Because y'all just doing what y'all do. Like that's where the problem is really arising. So we having shortages again. Especially what you see a lot is these PPE masks or what they're talking about, this N95 masks. Shortages everywhere across the country, right? But in our hospital, like there's one person who has it, right? So anytime I need it, I got to go to that one person and say, hey, can I get a mask, please?
Yeah.
And I got a little paper bag, right? Because you can use the mask up to about 4 to 5 times, right? So like if I have a slew of patients that we're trying to rule out for it, right? So I got to use that mask, right? Throw it in the paper bag and then write 1, right? And then the next day I got to write 2. And by the time I get 5, now I'm able to bring that like, hey, this is my 5th time using it. Can I please have another one? And then they give me one.
So I know the PPE mask doesn't protect you from it. Which one actually protects you from it? Is it the N95?
That's interchangeable. So the PPE N95. What most people have is just like that regular cloth mask, right? That's not even in abundance no more, right? But like most of the time when you see people in the grocery store, they're wearing that regular cloth mask. The PPE mask, that's the one we wear for people on who got TB. Or we're trying to rule out TB.
Okay.
Because we know TB kind of sprinkles in the air just like this virus does, unfortunately.
Here's what I don't like about that one. When people wear the regular cloth one, people's all saying, being arrogant, it doesn't help them anyways. They're so stupid. It's all like, so what? It's just one extra layer of shelter that blocks them if they could sneeze. Have at it. You want to block your face with a mask? You want to cover up like a Muslim? Have at it. Cover your ass up.
But it's about but the thing is, it's about the size of the particles that the virus can go through, and those masks, the particle is way bigger than what the virus is. But so you're really doing nothing.
You really are doing that. That's true. You really are really.
You are doing nothing.
It's for your mental peace of mind.
It's your peace of mind. Yeah.
No, not still, but it can stop a sneeze.
No, I just told you, bro. The size of the virus is smaller than the holes in those masks.
But that shit
So
goes right through.
That's true,
it's
but
just
it's still
driving right
right
through
through,
it, bro.
You're gonna breathe in all that shit. Yeah.
All of it.
The collateral area is just not as big, is what I'm saying.
Okay,
You
Nate.
can't tell me it has no resources.
We just told you, bro.
But
So
see,
it has none. It has no. Trust me. Like you tell a nurse, like, hey, take this mask and go see that COVID patient. They're gonna be like, nope, because they already know. And they already know this is not like you have some people now. They'll wear the N95 mask and they wearing that face mask, right?
Yeah.
Just to make sure, just in case the N95, because N95 again is only 95%, right? And we just assume 95% of the particles that get blocked out is in the COVID's in that range of 95%. We don't know. So you got a lot of people doing the face mask plus COVID as well.
All right.
Doug, I want to ask,
Okay.
like, say, like, if I do have the virus,
Mhm.
what can I do to like help myself? Like, nothing I can do.
Nothing.
So I'm just
Nothing. Rest.
Just rest. And
Just
not
rest and stay away from everybody.
Okay,
for about 2
majority of
weeks.
people that have this
So it's just-
is going to survive this. Correct?
Yeah,
Am I
majority.
wrong?
Well, that's what I mean. Just like the
That's-
flu, majority of people is gonna survive
That's
this.
all I'm saying. Why it's
But the problem is right is that a lot more people are gonna have this, right? So that's why the percentage like is still a problem, right? Because let's say if only 1 million people are gonna get the flu, right? Maybe
But the
5
flu-
million get this one, right? So the
Yeah.
problem is, right, like you 5 times that small percentage is still a lot of people getting up
Well,
out of here.
That's what Nate doesn't understand.
No, I understand that. Because listen, the flu on a bad year has a body count of like 70,000 in the U.S. I don't think this is going to even see 70,000 globally.
Right. So let me show you
see what I'm
percentage
saying?
wise.
This is just
Percentage wise, the flu takes out about 0.5 to 0.7% of people who ultimately we diagnose, yeah, you got the flu. 0.5 to point. Right now, this virus right here is tracking at like 3 to 4%.
Correct.
Right? Just to give you an idea. Like that's a lot of people, man.
It is, but if you factor in how much people that's getting it, because this one right here, it's got even in the cases. If you look at, I was looking at a thing online today. It's not even like the top 15 cases of death that we got out here. The regular flu is on there. There's way more things that we deal with every day.
Well, I mean, this is just the beginning. I mean,
this is just beginning.
This is adding to something we got to deal with.
This is something we got to deal with. We're not. Trust me, we're not ready for this. We
got tuberculosis taking out 3,000 people a day. Hepatitis taking out 2,000. Pneumonia takes out another 2,000.
We understand that, Nate, but we are prepared for those.
And this is new.
We're prepared for those, and we have treatment for those.
We got treatment.
We don't have set treatment for it.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. This is the only downside is that we don't have no actual vaccine for this. But I'm saying for the majority of people, it's going to.
Y'all would take the vaccine anyway, though. Low key,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Majority of people aren't going to take the vaccine anyway.
I take my flu vaccine every year, bro.
You know me. I'm team flu, man. Yeah. And I already know if there's a vaccine out here, we wouldn't have taken that thing anyways, right?
This is what we're saying. Like we're just saying that I see people in Haiti freaking out because they have the corona. I was like, y'all never took the vaccine for the flu. This ain't any different. You're gonna wipe out the same amount as you're gonna y'all get wiped out. No worse. This is only worse to the elderly people that was always meant to take the vaccine. Now there's no vaccine for them. They're about to be up out of here.
I'm telling you, go catch some of that Rona.
I think we might have already had it for all we know, bro.
No, we didn't, bro.
What's happening is because we couldn't diagnose it, right? I know the first cases here. It's probably been here longer. We don't know, right?
Exactly.
There's been plenty of cases, early last year, right? Where I was like, oh wow, this person didn't really make it. I'm not sure why. Like, everything was negative. They just didn't make it. For all I know, that was a Rona, right? But now I got a test for it, right? And now that we have a test for it, right, the numbers are gonna skyrocket. Like I did that live video like a few weeks ago, right? At the time when I recorded it, like it was 938 cases, and I was guessing, right? I was like, oh guys, don't worry, like we weren't even testing for it. I said by the end of this month we'll probably have 5,000 to 10,000. We got 44,000 like right now.
Yeah.
Right. So in less than 2 weeks, right? That number went from in the U.S. 938 to 44,000, and I'm telling you, the testing really just getting started.
You see, this is what I was telling you, bro.
You're not getting the reason why.
There's not that much cases of flu that fast.
That fast, yeah.
It's too fast, bro.
No, it's because it's being tested. You got to factor in how much people that even go to the hospital for testing.
That is because it's being tested, bro. Come on.
It is because of testing.
The problem with testing, right, is like right now, right? If I want a flu test, I do a flu test. I'm gonna get that results in about like a couple hours, right?
Exactly.
This test right here takes about 5 to 7 days, right? So think about it, like in a 5 to 7 day span, you got people going up from 938 to 44,000, right? and we're just starting. We're gonna get some tests that's gonna be like in a few hours, and that number gonna shoot up to 100,000.
Bro, it's doubling
quickly.
every time you check every time they check the numbers, it's doubling.
All right. Remember, I told you the flu count.
So, like, do they really know the real cause?
Right now,
It's
we know.
Chinese, bro.
Yeah,
They
we
came
know.
from
We
China.
know where it originated. It's a bat virus, right? We know where it originated from. At least that's the first reported cases, right? Like people are like, something's going on.
Wet
down here.
markets,
Like,
bad meat.
yeah, it's like, like this is interesting, right? And then it just kind of like spread out.
My thing is just how does it just like get around so fast? Like how does it?
Oh, because I mean we didn't know, right? So you know,
It's
people
a
are
flu.
talking.
Flus get around fast.
People
It's
travel.
not that. The world is smaller than we think. And
Right.
how
That's
much
that's
we travel
really what it is.
Because it only takes 9 hours to get to China.
Mm-hmm.
And people are traveling so much faster and easier nowadays. It's going to spread super fast, bro. And that's what happens.
I mean, even to some remote places, like like even like over in the Caribbean and South America.
Bro, the world is small, bro.
People are traveling because remember, if you might not, let's say you not even go to that country, but you just happen to be in the airport at the same time, right? That person had cough, and then it was in the air, and then it landed on you, and then you took it. Now you took it to Florida, and then now you took it to Chicago and LA. Like it's there. Like it's like that's really the issue at hand. Because it's. Like I said, again, I told Nate like a few weeks ago. I said, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be bigger than Katrina, y'all. Like this is gonna be a problem." And I already know, and especially because I already saw the way they were talking. I'm like, "Oh, they don't even realize." Yeah, we gonna be in trouble.
Are you on Trump's side of expediting the
Go back to work?
Oh,
not even go back. No, of course, I know he's not on that. Nobody's on that shit.
Yeah,
are you on Trump's side on expediting the trial periods and all that? Or are you on his actual?
Oh,
doctor?
for like the vaccines?
Yeah, the head doctor was like, nah, it takes like a year. The doctor
It usually does. Usually, the problem is, I think right now we're operating in so much of a place of fear, right? Like these things are gonna happen, right? Because again, one, right? It's because we're not like other countries, right? Like if China say don't go out your house, folks not going out their house, right? Like that's just quick, fast, and hurry. United States say, hey guys, if it was okay that you guys not go to spring break, that you guys not go to the beach, we appreciate it, right? Like, and then and we actually did it, right? Like we probably wouldn't have to, but now that we see that here, like we're just gonna do what we want to do. So now we gotta be more. Now we gotta be more on an offensive, right? Now we gotta say like, all right, guys, we're shutting all that shit down. Y'all not going outside. Y'all not going back to work. Oh, and you need to close. You need to close. You need to close. And oh, by the way, speed up the vaccine. Like we gotta do all of this because we know the American psyche just ain't built.
Freedom, bro.
I like how I humbled America. How we went straight from democracy to this little quick. How we're making fun of China.
What we really need is a dictatorship in the U.S. for the next like 2 months.
Oh man.
Oh no, but things start slow reacting. By the time this is all over, China's gonna be up on its feet. They might be the world's number one economy, and they're just already prepping us. They're like, look, they're telling us, look, how I'm saying, say hi to your new leaders because we wanted to act slow, and at least you know you're gonna have leaders. That's what it takes. They don't got their president's nickname and name calling.
All right, Barry. So the reports out of like Russia is saying that Putin told everybody to stay at home, so they're not getting many cases. You think that's true, or they're just not reporting?
They're probably not reporting. I doubt they're testing as much, but because they are practicing that quarantine, like I'm pretty sure it's not going to spread like it is over here. Taiwan's another place, right? So folks to stay home and folks staying home and numbers dropping.
Russia has a huge young population too, right?
Russia has a dictatorship, nigga. They good.
But it also
they'll survive.
Side. Remember, Italy has the oldest age in the European nations. That's why they have such a huge amount of cases. They have the oldest age demographic. That has to play with it. Russia,
and that's the problem, especially because in Italy was just like us, right? We were like, they're like, whatever, we're gonna do what we gotta do, right? And then they got overran. Right?
But they all this shit though, so that plays a role. That's what I'm saying. But Russia has a huge young population. So even if they have it, maybe they don't have to report it. They ain't falling. Italy dying right now.
Who told you Russia had a huge young population?
I do.
Where are you getting these facts from?
He does just Google.
I listen.
Cite your source, bro. Cite your sources, bro.
I look up global politics. That's one of the thing. That's one of the reasons Putin, though we try to topple over there, you don't have a massive uprising against him. The youth over there like him. I'm saying it's not like how it is over here where, we're doing constant propaganda. They're not crying to be free over there. I'm saying, and they're very into politics and shit like that. We always try to paint the picture we're free in the world. It's just a different version of that. They're very, I'm saying, they're still very, he still runs shit with an iron fist, mind you. But I guess he does that at the benefit of his people.
We need that iron fist. Like I said, Florida's gonna be in trouble. I saw that video clip of DeSantis saying, it's not that serious, and we got counties here who haven't even been tested. First of all, I'm almost sure they haven't tested those counties.
Rick Scott would have been called a public
Been called it.
The one thing about Rick Scott, he's a Republican. We not like him, but he didn't play around no fucking. And it came to any time of emergency, he pulled that switch quick. Nothing was gonna fuck up on his watch.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, DeSantis he's just
he's just another Trump. Yeah, just relaxing, kicking it.
He way too calm. I'm like, oh my god, this guy.
We're gonna find out the hard way because Florida got a lot of old folks.
Florida got a lot. Trust me.
Oh, yeah.
Palm Beach.
This
Broward,
is retirement
Dade.
state. This is the retirement state. This is where you retire at.
Exactly. So he's gonna find out the hard way for taking us out. But Rick Scott, Rick Scott. I just seen an ad the other day saying people saying how he wants to be president. I was like, there's a good chance he is. I don't think he's ever lost an election, which I think I might have told you that early. That's gonna be the next president. This election going before that.
Speaking of Florida politicians, right, in politics, what y'all think about this Andrew Gillum stuff?
Your boy Gillum.
Oh, man, you had to go.
And we had to, bro. That's one of the absurdities of this past 2 weeks.
Man,
it's embarrassing. Yeah, it's embarrassing. Man.
Brought up a great case.
I was wondering. I was like, oh, what's he going to rehab for? Because folks do drugs, folks do coke all the time. I'm like, that ain't really rehab worthy.
Yep.
And then the hammer drop, right? Then that picture drop. Like, oh, they try to.
They dropped
I see.
Too?
They dropped.
Oh yeah, see the photo.
Yeah, bro.
Gray.
My dog was strung out.
Yeah, man.
I think he's going to rehab for the boy butt.
Of course. It was funny because I told Juno, I was like, I could see it because usually the straight-laced guys that are in politics, they usually something against them. They usually that fact that they either gonna be swinging the other way or they have a slew of women. And the fact that he's just been walking the straight line, that's why Obama's so shocking. Like, man, people keep trying to pull out those skeletons.
They be looking for stuff on Obama. They can't
especially for black guys.
Yes.
Like, usually black guys, they use some kind of scandal that once in the past. Like, this dude's too clean. And then Juno brought up, he's like, usually those guys always talking about their grandma. I was like, yeah, you're right. Those guys I brought up to the church always bringing up their grandma.
Listen, if a guy brings up his grandma more than 4 times,
yeah.
you might have to check him out. He might be playing on the other team. Or the same team, whatever they call it. Because he brought up his grandma a lot, and everybody that be talking about their grandma is
that's true.
I feel bad for him, man. He was supposed to be our governor too, man. I was like, oh man,
I feel bad is that's how politics.
He out of there. He out of there too. He not coming back.
But I'm surprised. I'm surprised none of this came out when he was running for governor.
I think there was
that's a big secret to hold when you're in politics.
They never had proof. I think they might have been rumors just given. They never had proof.
I didn't hear nothing about him being scandal. That way at all.
Yeah. But you thought there's some rumors or something. Like, nope, they didn't even.
There was no
wasn't even hinting.
There was none of that.
I'm sure there is because anytime there's a black, I know y'all heard like the Obama rumors. Anytime there's a black politician, if you check out the far right, they're always saying, "Oh, this guy might be secretly gay." They always say that about the black ones.
I've never heard that. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you never heard that about Obama?
I've heard Obama probably had other women, but
check out when I follow a bunch of extreme rights.
Cite your sources, bro.
I'm talking about far right. I follow a bunch of, you can check out my Twitter feed. I argue with far right people. I follow them online just to get the other side. I'm saying you don't have to cite the far right. I'm just letting you know the propaganda.
The propaganda's out there.
Propaganda's out there. They'll tell you that those kids are not Obamas.
Like, when you go to Walmart at the checkout line, you can see them right there in your left or right. You can see.
Oh yeah, exactly. They'll tell you that those kids
National
are not Obamas.
Choir and all this. You be like, okay, all right. But low key though, it kind of came and went though. I guess that coronavirus kind of helping them because low key this thing kind of.
The coronavirus is
Because it kind of. I saw the picture one day and I was like, oh, they stopped talking about it. So I don't know if a cease and desist order that came out and They say, hey,
You know what's really worse is the fact the person that out him was your girl, Candace Owens. And
oh no, she good for
over
that.
there. But I mean, to go after another black person's neck, that's
she always goes after. She only goes after black people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but now you exposing pictures. This man got a wife. She's over here putting details out. She like the police find him. There's feces and blood on the bed, and the photos will be out soon. How you know the photos will be out soon? I don't know who does you have a chance to sue. It's messed up, bro.
That's great.
I know, yeah, no, that coronavirus definitely helped them because, like, I swear, it was probably like a day on Twitter, and then it was gone. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, they're not even. They don't on this no more. Okay.
I think we're gonna get back to it after the coronavirus. Like
after it died down, it's like, hey guys, remember Andrew? Remember?
Like, hold on, remember this? Like,
but this is my thing. Like, he's a lifetime politician. That's all he's done his whole life. So where does he go from now? Because we know his political career is dead.
He's not gonna be an advocate.
I mean, I feel like he could still be local, right?
Nah, he's done.
National scene though, man. He can't, because being gay is not the problem anymore. That's what I couldn't understand. Like, why are you even hiding that?
Not the gay. It's the hiding that you're gay is the problem, and the meth. If it was regular weed and alcohol, people can live with that.
It's the.
But you doing meth?
It's the residue photos. You not see the photos of the brown stains and on the covers. Even gay folks gonna post that. I'm gonna send you the photo, Grant. This shit is uncalled for. That's different, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's a keep yourself in the bedroom, keep your own stuff in the bedroom. That's what most people do. They're respectful like that. They did them dirty, bro.
Yeah, like I said, I swear it was a setup, man. I was like, oh, they were trying to get Andrew out of here.
Yeah, bro.
They saw Andrew on the rise. They're like, all right, no more CNN interviews. You're done.
That's the thing with politics. You can't peak too early. That's why. Remember Cory Booker was shining. He did Obama's inauguration agreement a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Thing. He was shining like, well, that might be the next president right there. And they put their foot on his neck all the way until we got sick of him, and we're like, this guy's lame.
That's it.
Yeah, if you shine too early, you're out. Yeah, Gillum's a sad case, man. I'm trying to find the photo.
I saw people arguing that it wasn't him. I'm like, oh man, that looked like him, man. That's some good ass.
Blurry or not, I could tell that was Andrew Gillum.
The fact that he didn't fight it, the fact that he didn't just say it wasn't me, he said.
But he in rehab though. That's what I was thinking. Like, oh, maybe some time. Maybe he in rehab. Maybe a technology seclusion. Maybe they don't know what's going on right now. I'm pretty sure similar is like, hey, get that picture out of there.
Yeah, I mean,
that picture came out quick. Like, you can probably Google search it, but like, I was like, oh, this story ain't even bubbling right now.
Yeah, CNN didn't cover it, and those other networks, maybe they have like kind of an agreement where they don't really go in on each other like that.
I think it was just because of the timing. The timing was with this Corona stuff. That's the only reason it didn't get.
That's what I'm thinking too. Because I'm like, whew. Because if it would have been a slow news time, he would have been everywhere. Everywhere.
So we know at least one person in America is happy about this Corona shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't know how the voting demographic is going to be after this Rona thing. Might have it might make America a bit more progressive. Get these old folks up out of here. As sad as it may be.
Wow, Nick.
Listen.
Hey, you already have a Republican calling for that. Like, listen, themselves for the economy.
They've been stifling us for a minute. Now they're the same group of people that didn't want Medicare for all, this, that, and the third. Look what we rolling out the red carpet for them, man. We give everybody now what they have. That's what I'm saying. All the Biden stuff, almost all the extreme left talking points are now. They're talking about killing off 10,000 worth of debt for folks. They're talking about giving people unemployment, a $15 minimum wage while we're in this stuff. All the wild points that the left was talking about is now regular while we're in trauma. It's crazy.
Bro, I'm gonna just let you guys know now. Don't take none of this Corona relief stuff. If you have the money to pay your bills, pay your bills.
Of course.
Don't say, okay, I'm about to get one over on these people. I'm not gonna pay this much because it's Corona stuff. If you got it, pay it.
Exactly. I don't mind it.
When shit goes,
you got real estate investors like, hey man, I don't care what Trump done told you, I need to pay. Because let me tell you who be sending me who ain't sending me relief letters. Fifth Third Bank, Wells Fargo. No one they ain't sending me none of those. They're like, hey, dude, we are aware of coronas around, but like, hey, we still need that check. We still need the check sent our way, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Nelnet emails me twice a day. And they still emailing me.
They don't care.
Say nothing.
Nothing. They ain't even. They're like, oh yeah, we heard about that announcement. You know, your payment's still due. They even stress that, hey, just remember the announcement is due to the interest, right? We still need that. We still need that principal check to come our way.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't play no games. I'm seeing you on the photos of that.
It's not working. Then what do they tell them? Like,
they're gonna give them unemployment. Listen, all the far left shit. We're now socialists now.
100 is not enough. Like,
you ain't got no bills. What do you mean one time? You ain't gonna have no bills when your people can't kick you out. They're gonna. This system. This capitalism is about to be straight propped up by socialism right now. So basically, it's almost like we're pressing pause. Please don't foreclose on anybody. Please don't want to say we're gonna give you some money to go out and buy food because of course the grocery store can't get them but a night with you.
This is what Nate sent us.
I'm sending you the other one right now. They're all in the group. That's nothing.
Okay. That's not. Yeah, that's nothing.
That's not the. Yeah, that's not the.
That's nothing. This is just.
It's the light work.
He a little too wide open to be next to a guy, bro.
For real.
He wilding in this picture.
You see the Bermuda shorts. This is the party. This is the take them out. Show them a night at the town before.
Yeah, I already saw this. This is when I was telling you that the gay escort. Oh, you can see his feet in the picture.
Yeah. You see that pillow?
Mm-hmm.
You see that pillow gray in the top right? Good boy wilding, man.
Oh,
he's out of here.
If you look right here, you see the gay escort's foot, bro.
Yeah,
I think it's the gay ex or whatever guy he was with that took all these pictures, bro.
Oh, most definitely.
So it's definitely a setup.
I feel like it was a setup. I'm sure.
What's really messed up is the fact that he was a gay advocate. He was, you know what I'm saying, he's very, you know what I'm saying, left wing. Look out for everybody.
Hold on. It's saying he was in a motel?
Yeah, they caught him in a hotel, knocked out.
Yeah.
The guy was knocked out.
Not a hotel.
Motel. Oh, they couldn't even take him to a hotel, huh? Jesus.
That's so you can't do that type of dirt in the hotel. You got to do it at the motel. It's meth, bro. It's not weed. You can smoke weed in a hotel. If you smoking meth, if you smoking meth, you got to go to a motel, bro.
Meth, bro. And it already leaves a bad taste because there's that one guy, the Democratic sponsor who was killing all those gay boys. I was going over there.
Wow.
You remember talking about a couple months back? He's locked up right now. The Democratic donor.
Yep, over there. Yep.
Yeah,
because I think they found out the one gay dude like this, like in his house dead. Like it's
just they found two. One.
No, that was like the second time.
Yeah, it was the second time it happened.
Died in his house.
Yeah, and they said, "All right, we got to take your ass away."
He just fucking them and killing them.
Yeah,
that's some crazy shit, bro.
He wasn't killing them. He likes to have them party, take drugs, and tell them it's a certain amount, but it'd be higher than what they expected.
Same thing. What's the difference?
He was taking the drugs too. They couldn't hang.
Yeah, but you're giving someone too much drugs,
exactly.
And you're trying to get them like over the limit. You killing them.
So that brings another question: like, does politicians normally get tested
for what?
For drugs?
For what?
No.
For what?
Wow. Nah.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure we tested the Senate right now. There's a whole bunch of positive cocaines. Easily.
Yeah, I'm sure they're doing cocaine. But
they definitely doing cocaine.
Everybody in society looks down at people that do meth now. Come on.
Right.
Cocaine is a party drug. Weed, you might be relaxed. Meth,
so while
Jesus Christ.
Occupation, you got to get tested, for drugs. You got random testing. But these guys could just, run wild.
Listen, that's drug testing is for poor folks, bro.
Correct.
The higher you go in life, if you're applying to be a CEO of a company, they're not drug testing you.
Nope.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it's only the poor people that get drug tested, bro.
I'm trying. Oh, well, last time I've been drug tested.
That you went up. They don't want to see him. Once you mess up something at the job on the clock, though.
Maybe when I was a resident. But we definitely. We'll check for some alcohol though.
They check you for that. I had a when I was at work from
coughing over there, Barry.
Oh man, trust me, man. I was in a patient room in the ER. I had a cough so bad, and I was like, nah, don't even do it, man. Don't even do it.
It's worse when you try to hold it in. That's just something.
I'm like, don't even do it.
You gotta fight that shit. You gotta go somewhere with that.
You gotta go somewhere. You just gotta like, let me go outside. Hold on for a second.
Private.
Call and then come back. Like, okay, all right, I'm back.
Gotta play it off somehow. Yeah. Crazy.
Too fed. Hey man, folks in the hospital scared, man. I know it's real because folks in the hospital scared.
But,
ER scared. Hospital. My residents, super scared.
What are they doing with the healthcare workers that contracted?
We'll send them home a couple weeks.
Wow.
Okay.
And then bring us back to work. We need you.
That's it. That's the majority of the cases that happen. It's the elderly folks. We gotta just.
You keep saying elderly folks like
young people dying too now.
Middle-aged folks ain't gonna die.
But it's not. It's not common. It's not majority. It's not a lot. It's the outliers. If you have previous.
Yeah, but that's just life. Older people, a lot of old people died from old age too. You're not gonna. Come on, Nate. What are you talking about?
I'm not saying no count.
Old people always dying, bro.
No, but they tend to be. This is why the flu shot is so needed.
No, this isn't the flu.
What I'm saying is, of course, because there's no vaccine for it. That's to me. That's the only difference.
It's not the flu. It's not from the same family. So
here's what I mean. It's in the sense that it's still. I mean, it's in the sense of that. If they had vaccines for this right now, the elderly would have been protected more, and the people that have been hit by this would have been the middle-aged folks that don't tend to take it, and the death count would have been a lot lower. Is what I'm saying. Because they didn't affecting children as much because they tend to get
okay. So coronavirus. This is what coronavirus 19 is considered. What 19 or what's? So there's a previous coronavirus.
That's when it was first discovered in 2019.
Yeah, this strain.
Okay. So this strain is from 2019.
Exactly.
Right.
There's other viruses.
But there's other variations of coronavirus.
Right. Like when the SARS epidemic that occurred. What year was that? What year was that? I think it was. What was SARS? I want to say 04.
Came from China.
I want to say 04. But like when SARS hit, like SARS is a type of coronavirus. This one just happens to be, the flavor of the month that we just not ready for. And the problem is, and this why I feel bad, because when SARS hit, because it hit such a small population, the pharmaceutical companies, all these other companies, they weren't necessarily revving up to get a new vaccine, new medication, all those things, because it wouldn't have made no money because only a small group of people who got hit. But now the reason why we're revving up now is because now my customer base is like crazy, right? So of course I want to drop a vaccine, right? Because I can now look at all these customers, right, that I got out here. So that's why this vaccine is gonna be revved up, because now there's so much more customers, aka more people who are gonna pay.
But what's the side effect if you roll out a vaccine too early and now that shit? Let's say they roll out a vaccine too early, you out here to corona, that shit gives you cancer. Think of what it's gonna do to the actual vaccine campaign from that point on.
Listen,
people told you.
In 30 years, you'll just see an infomercial that says, "Did you get a coronavirus virus vaccine in 2020?"
Now you might
be owed some compensation. So we already know what time it is.
But see, the rest of the world aren't as reckless as we are with medicine in the U.S. They don't put dollars before things. They're putting dollars before people, and so they're not rushing. They're rather just lock down. Us, we need to get back to business as quick as possible. So I'm not sure. I don't know what places like Italy. What are they going to do? They're not. Are they just ramping up, hoping for a thing? All they could do is just lock down, right?
They're locked down now. But the numbers have been so overwritten, right? Like I said, you got people who are making decisions like, you know what? We're gonna take grandma out the respirator, so this 40-year-old could get back on the rest, because they just don't have the supplies, right? They don't have the supplies, they don't have the demand, so everything is just over the top for them.
So as far as testing, so anyone could just walk up and get tested, or is it like a priority basis, or?
You got to meet the symptoms, like, so if you don't have the symptoms,
we got pneumonia,
recent travel, fever, cough, and it's getting looser now, Because before you had to have like these strict criteria before we even test you. But now we're like, oh, you know what? You think I got pneumonia and you got a fever? You might have corona. Now we're testing you as well.
But how like I know the facility I work for, I think we have like 8 locations and they only have 5 tests per location.
Mm-hmm.
So how much of a shortage is there on testing?
The problem is now in Florida, you have the state of Florida and then LabCorp who does it. But even when LabCorp does it, LabCorp doesn't even do it in the state of Florida. They send it out, right? So they're sending it to, I want to say, North Carolina to do their testing. That's why it takes 5 to 7 days. Because even if I do a test in like Wellington, they're gonna send the test to Tampa, and then Tampa's gonna box it up and then ship it out to North Carolina, and then we just gotta wait for results to come back. When the state of Florida does it, it is a 24 to 48 hour time, but you don't want that state of Florida test, right? Because if I'm ordering a state of Florida test on you, that means I'm like, oh shit, you might have that corona, and you might get out of here pretty soon. So I'm like, I gotta know like very quickly, like, do you have the corona because you are going downhill very quickly. So you want us to be doing the LabCorp test to take it 5 to 7 days because we think you're at a low risk. If we're doing the state of Florida type test, or when that stays here, that means like we're like almost sure you got it, and we just got to protect ourselves and get that confirmation.
Okay, so a whole bunch of people at the VA, like Gray, went to go get tested, and they got the results in six minutes.
4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
4 hours.
4 hours.
But he's a VA though, so it's different.
Government has their own. You have certain companies that have their own proprietary testing, but of course, you got your hospital system got to cough that money up, right, for that proprietary, especially if they want it quicker than not.
So, Gray, you went to the VA and got tested. You didn't have no symptoms or nothing. They just tested you guys?
Nah, he served this country.
I had some allergies. I just had like a sneezing, cough.
No,
sneezing is not a symptom.
Yeah, Rona light.
Like I normally have like every spring. It happens every spring with the.
Like I said, this is the worst time. I feel bad for allergy sufferers because now they can't be in public. They sneeze, they cough, what they would always typically do between January and April, and now people are like, I don't know about this one right here.
Okay.
The other day I was in the house, man. My whole family just ran out. Everybody just went upstairs.
Another reason I don't take the Rona that serious is because it's the easiest thing to not get. Like, you follow just the basic rules they've been telling you.
Yeah.
Wash your hands.
It's not easy not to get because apparently you can get it. It can be airborne.
Yeah, it's right
the
now.
The flu is airborne though.
Right now, no, the flu is droplet, right? So the flu is that if I'm, close to you, right?
Right.
And I start talking, the flu, I can put the flu on top of you. The problem with when a disease is airborne is I could be talking, right, and leave the room, right, and it's still in there chilling. And then you walk behind me. I'm not even in the room anymore. You walk behind me, and then it gets on you, right?
Yeah.
So that's the problem with this one is because it's airborne. That's why, like, if you see like on the social media, people are, not only are they putting N95, they're putting the face mask, they're putting the robes on. They're not because we know it stays there. Like us being close to you or even far away from you, it doesn't even matter. Like it's because we know just you. And again, most of these people, especially people who got it, they're coughing, right? So they're projectile shooting the corona like left and right across the room, right? Like they can't help it. They can't help it, right? You give them a mask, they don't wear the mask. I'm like, man, can you please wear the mask? Like that's what we gave it to you. Oh, I'm sorry. And then, so that's really the problem, right? Like we wish it was droplet, right? Droplet's easy. Droplet is you stay on that side of the room and I'm good. Airborne is like.
What do you say was worse, the Rona or the we have an Ebola?
Well, Ebola. The problem is you get Ebola.
Ebola lasted like a week.
But the problem is Ebola kills quickly. So you don't want the Ebola because it's such from the mortality rate is such higher, right? So if I had to choose like which one I want, give me the Rona because at least the Rona I get a fighting chance, right? Yeah. But like you get Ebola, I mean you start bleeding everywhere because it's a hemorrhagic type disease, right? So you start bleeding out your eye, like that's you don't want Ebola. But again, fortunately for us, because Ebola kills so quickly, it doesn't spread like that, right? Corona,
it knocks you dead. Yeah, that's
Corona, out of here, and now it's everywhere. there's not a country that does not have corona. Not a state that doesn't have corona. Not a county that does not have someone who has corona.
Wow.
It's wild times. Wild. And remember, guys, we in the beginning, right? This is what this March.
I'm telling you, like, yeah, bro, it just got here.
What's y'all over under? I don't think it's gonna pass the regular flu season's death rate.
Oh, it's shooting past that. It's gonna shoot past that quickly.
Death rate?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Death rate. Oh, most definitely.
I don't think it's gonna pass.
Most definitely.
Because the regular flu went as high as 70,000 on the worst year. So what are we saying on the DC? 20, 30, 40,000?
Let me see. Regular flu? Let's see. Regular flu.
I don't think it's passing 40,000, bro.
The problem is, right, it doesn't have to affect as many people as the flu, right? Because it kills so much more, right? Because, again, it can affect 4 to 5 times less the amount of people, right? And still have that same number of deaths, right? And really, and that's really the problem, right? Because, again, we're hoping that the mortality rate can get close to like 1 to 2%. Like that's our, like, from a public health standpoint and medical standpoint, that's where like we're crossing our fingers for, like, please get to 1 to 2%. And we know flu is at, and again, the only reason why the flu is even that low is because at least 40% of us actually take the flu shot, right?
Correct.
So imagine if 40% of us did not take the flu shot, it would be in the 1 to 2% just as well. But 40% of us actually take it, right? So at least we have some immunity from that standpoint. But this Rona is gonna be a problem. Right?
So how long do you expect this thing to last?
It's here to stay. As far as them opening up, stadium events and all those types of sporting events, and that's probably not happening until probably like August, September time frame. Because by that time we should have vaccines. By that time, the capacity to be long enough so that when folks do get the Rona, because remember, like Nate said, I understand what Nate said. Not a lot of people are going to get super, super sick from it. But the problem is that a lot of people are going to get it, right? Like, so that's the problem. If we could stretch it out so that, it's really the summertime and, those numbers are still bubbling there, like that we'll be fine. Because now people are like, we haven't even talked about once people get reinfected, right? Again, remember, it's a nasal swab test, right? So what happens if I just happen to swab an area that isn't like where the Rona's at, but the Rona's on the other side, right? Like, so yes, you're negative, right? But you could.
Oh, it could. So the test can't tell the one side from another. This is horrible.
Wow. I mean, same thing.
Great, what side did they test, Great?
Great only got tested. Hey, go back, bro. You only got one.
I had some blood tests. I had some blood drawn. That's what we did.
I was like, geez, you got to do both sides.
Same thing with the flu. You have people who like, oh, I got my flu test. It was negative, and then they get the flu next week.
Yeah, it can happen too. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why they said we don't know if this is going to be around 1 year, this strand. But they said the only good thing about it is it's mutating so slow that they figure they're going to be able to handle it. But there's just so much different information out there. Like you're saying, even from the 1%, 2% mortality rate, we're hearing as low as 0.1. There's just so much misinformation and misinformation. You have places like China who says that they don't have no new cases, which we know they have good reason to lie. Right. We got over here in the U.S. that took over 2 months to even get tested, which is wild. We got over here in Italy, motherfuckers is dropping like flies. Yep. And even though they're under quarantine, people still dropping.
Yep.
You got people like Slim Thug who took all the precautions today up and just have the thing.
Listen, this is just a new disease. The virus that we're going to have to worry about forever because how often do a disease no longer exist or go extinct, bro?
Right. Like Ebola's still around.
Like measles,
swine flu,
and stuff like that.
Swine flu's still around.
All of them will be here, but I'm telling you, some of them have a season when they hit, they pop off. They got like a one hit. You know what I'm saying? What's it when they got a summertime smash? You know what I'm saying? They got a midget single. They hit the boards. You know what I'm saying? They're a one hit wonder, and then they out of here. Let's hope it's a one hit wonder. You know what I'm saying? Which I think it'll be. The Corona get that one hit. And that'll be it. I don't know as far as here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying not to take precaution. I just think that we're overdoing it because the actual people that's at risk, we're putting them at even more risk by overloading the system and of people being overly prepared, going to the hospital, being packed out. I know my niece went the other day because she's She has asthma. She wasn't feeling too good. She went there, but she has a, you know what I'm saying, she's predisposed because she has asthma. So they can take her, because she's younger. They say, come back. You then the test. You give the little 7-day test so they'll come back.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But you can't have everyone going in for shit like that. You know what I'm saying? People get spooked. They overload the hospital all the time. And
tell them to come. We need them to come. Well, I'd rather send you home and say wait in a week, nothing wrong with you, and versus you think that nothing's wrong with you, and then you go out and party.
Exactly. So I rather it be over tested than under tested.
I can't wait for us in September to be like, man, y'all guys was going, man, y'all was tripping, man. It wasn't even that serious. Like that's what we want. We want y'all in August and September to be like, man, y'all public health folks, y'all doctors folks was like going crazy. It wasn't that serious. We'll be very happy. We'll be extremely happy.
It's gonna make the next thing worse because they're gonna look at you like, man, y'all really oversold it. We propping up this corona as we did the Trump impeachment. That was a big dud at the end. You know what I'm saying? This is how people are going to feel at the end of the day. After we prop this all up, it's getting politicians as a reason to cut blank checks right and left. This is going to have massive repercussions from overreacting. Not that they shouldn't on the health aspect of it, but we're over here trying to pop up a whole economy because of this. The economy was already going down anyways. Now they're making an excuse like they're blaming this is the reason. $2 trillion, bro. It's insane. So they're doing all sorts of shit. We're literally going to put the economy on pause. People that are in the investment community, we actually don't want all these stuff to come through. Let this shit sink so we can get this shit at a discount. Y'all want to cut off student benefits, stuff you ain't got.
Yeah, you got to have it to get it at a discount. No matter how much of a discount is, if you don't got it, you ain't got it.
Yeah, if you don't got it. But that's why I'm not an advocate of them bailing you. I'm waiting for this shit to drop through.
I want to check. I do want to check. You don't want to check? Everybody wants to check.
I want to check. The check is slowing down the housing market. I need the housing market to fall through. What is a check? What's $1,000 check gonna do for you? I'm trying to buy property. You understand?
Nate, you got 6 kids, bro. You gonna get more than $1,000, bro.
Listen, you understand?
You might hit a clean 10,000 on these folks with all the kids you got over there.
That's still light. You understand? The most millionaires come out of following recessions. After recessions, that's when the most group of new millionaires tend to come out of. That's how you got to do it. You got to buy stuff for the low. This is just a given fact. I don't even have to cite my sources. You just got to look it up. Look that up. That's why the most new millionaires come out of is following recessions. Because people are selling off. You can buy up stocks. You can buy up real estate. Everything's going for the low. You buy and hold.
I'm definitely waiting. I'm definitely looking. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the millionaires, like you heard about like the stimulus package and the Democrat proposing a digital currency, so like we probably move away from like what we have now into like something different.
I'm with it.
So I'm wondering like what's that gonna do to like everything that we already have, all the assets, like when you're trying to buy a product, how is it gonna be priced? Like
whatever it is, if you're at the bottom, you're gonna still be at the bottom, so it won't make a difference.
No. I mean, like, well, like say, like right now, gas at $2. With the new digital currency, would it still be at $2? Like,
I'm not sure. As long as the dollar's strong.
Nate, there's no more dollars, bro.
Bro, at this point, you don't think everything is pretty much digital anyway? Like,
exactly.
I haven't touched a $100 bill in forever.
Me neither.
So,
me neither. But what's happening is like this money's crashing.
It don't mean nothing.
Come up with a different currency.
This money could crash, the next one could crash. The people that have it and hold gonna be the same one that have it. Money is all subjective. It's all we all believe it. Anyways, that's how it goes.
So what's the new number?
The new number doesn't matter because it's gonna be the same amount now. Will be at that new number. It could be macaroni.
If you pay $2 for gas now and it's going up to 6, 7, 8, it matters, Nate.
But it's been doing that.
It doesn't matter.
I'm saying the wealth income has been disparately growing, disproportionately growing. Regardless, that's been happening. Being wrapped up in the semantics of what the money's gonna be valued at doesn't. I'm saying it's basically just being too anal about it.
I like to know because I want to be ready for that.
I don't know if there's maybe. You know, I see people freaking out over that. People thinking, it's you see the very religious. Those are the two worst folks I hate online. Like, the people that are automatically not physicians, they ain't got no schooling, but they are telling you, you guys need to be worried about this, that, and third, and then you already know the religious nuts online telling you, we've seen this in Book of Revelations. I swear I cut the video off right then.
Religion.
They talking about the digital dollar. We're about to get these chips put in us. This is how we're gonna be the only way to buy. So if that's the case, then so what? No different than the chip on our debit card. What y'all want? You know what I'm saying?
Chip in our debit card, chip in our phone.
Yeah, they talk about they're gonna give us, they're planning to chip in us. That's what that coronavirus thing was.
Hey, Apple could have been spying me for years. I got Apple Watch, Apple iPhone, iPads, the MacBook, like whatever information Apple want from me, they already got it.
Yep. I seen the thing though. The only thing is, who knows? I don't see it making a difference. Whatever we go to, as long as they're printing out money like crazy, and all they're doing is they're trying to prop up the economy. So I can't blame them, because when you're number one, you want to be number one. I see China probably coming out of this strong, because they're already opening up Starbucks and the Apple stores are all opening up by this week and stuff like that. So we'll see why U.S. hasn't even gotten.
Problem with China. China don't really make a lot of. I mean, they produce it, but they're not like the thinkers who make it, right? Like in the U.S., they think, oh man, I want to make the iPhone, and then they go make it in China. But like, they don't have the idea; they just have the cheap labor.
So they're not innovators.
Right, they're not innovators. So that's why U.S. is still gonna always be.
That's might be wrong, because you check out most of the innovators from these big companies, they're not even Americans. They tend to be. We do a brain drain around the world. Most of the biggest innovators been around the world, been from other countries. They just happen to be Americans because they come to America.
Right. Well, that's our goal, because we're trying to snatch the top of the top.
Exactly.
No, you come over here. You come over here.
Yeah,
make
exactly.
it US, and then we're gonna go brain drain those folks over there, and then make it an economy.
But with China playing the long game and US not taking the leadership role, it can still have its ramification. You can look up and now you're no longer the big man on campus anymore. You know what I'm saying? If our economy's toppling and we're throwing all sorts of dollars at it, trying to hold it up, telling people, hold on, don't let this go through. And you know what I'm saying? Because our system works on just a two-president system, Democrats, Republicans, we got two parties. So
I just have to commend all you guys on having clear videos minus OG Nate P.
Because I don't have my camera system set up right now. I'm on my regular laptop camera.
Because I'm sitting back and looking at everybody, I can see the pimples on everybody's face. Maybe, hold on, it might be because I put a little thing on there. It's just pretty as hell over there.
It's because I don't have the camera hooked up.
You got to get the HD. You can't even rely on the regular laptop camera, man. You got to have the HD or 4K.
Listen, he was provided with an HD camera, bro.
No,
my laptop takes what was it? The lightning cable, the USB-C.
Oh yes.
And I didn't have the right connection for it, so by the next one we'll be set up.
It's like we're in different time zones.
Yeah, bro. It's like we're all in America and they.
My camera got that Rona, bro.
That is in Haiti or somewhere.
My camera got that Rona, bro.
Nate, you and Jacques Mel, that's right. Right now.
The audio folks will know the difference. You think you'll be able to pull the audio from this, right?
Nah, I'm gonna make sure this goes on. I'm gonna make sure this go on YouTube or something.
Yeah, this would be like maybe our first YouTube video.
Yeah, this should be our first one. If it comes out right, and we're not doing all this for nothing, and we don't get no content out of this, because that's always a possibility.
No, Dr. Barry knows how to use it. He got all that stuff up and going.
Oh yes.
So that'll make sense. So are the hospitals now more packed than ever right now because of this though?
Yeah. But this is the time of season where we were already going to be kind of running close to capacity anyways, because this, especially in Florida, this is busy season for us because typically snowbirds come down, right, and they get sick and they end up in the hospital. So this is again, this is the worst time.
Are they already down? Because DeSantis just passed the rule. Anyone coming from New York, you have to do 14 days of isolation or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, they've been down. They usually don't leave till around Easter. Yeah, they usually don't leave. So especially the snowbirds in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, all those people, they run away from the cold weather. So we were already going to be at capacity regardless, right?
So now, are you guys at 100% capacity right now, or are you guys?
We're probably close to it. I mean, I remember last time I checked. Again, we had a 10-wing bed that we were using just for our at-risk patients for COVID, right? Mm-hmm. And when we had to expand it, like in 3 days, we already had to expand it out because they're like, okay, we got more than 10 folks who we need to rule out very quickly.
I seen a hospital in New York where they had like patients even like on the floor. Like I don't know. If
Like
that's
on the floor.
yeah, floor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's getting real out here.
it's getting serious.
They might have to start converting these private jails into hospitals.
We don't move that quick in the U.S. like that.
Nah.
That's the one thing about China. They was prop up whole hospitals in 12
Boom.
days.
That's
A
it.
whole, you know what I'm saying, 8-9-story hospital. Shit is crazy out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think we can compete. Yeah.
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 I mean, it's not.
Too much bureaucracy, too much.
It's when you don't have no, you have no red tape.
tradition, too much rights.
Yeah, exactly. When you have no red tape, no
Right.
regulation.
Too much freedom.
Yeah, too much.
Too much freedom. Too much free will. Like I said, that's okay. I know Nate think that we're overreacting. The problem is that y'all not actually overreacting with us, right? Like the 18 to 30, they're not really overreacting with us because they still going to spring break. They still.
I think
So
that's
they're still
that's
going.
Generation Z, though. That's not.
Yeah. No, that's not. I mean, our generation,
Yeah.
we'll watch, right? It's
Yeah.
that again. You got people mad because they can't go to spring break. They're still going to parties. They're still in the club. So they haven't overreacted yet. We're waiting for them to overreact.
Well, they're saying there's a high number of students that's coming back from spring break with the Rona. So
Oh, of
That
course.
to me is
Most
still
definitely.
propaganda. It's not doing a damn thing to them. They're
No,
coming
no.
back home with the flu. They're gonna be right back at partying the next weekend.
Hmm.
It's sad that they're partying like that, but let them
Mhm.
little just be themselves. Just something to keep from old people.
Right. But they're not gonna do it though. That's the problem. They don't.
To
They're
stay away
gonna
from old
they're gonna go to Target. They're gonna go to Publix. They're gonna
that's
go to
what
Walmart.
that's what
they're
you don't fail. You fail to
They're gonna go
realize
to the
that
gas station. Right.
everything is shut down, so they have to go home and mingle with their their people.
Mhm.
I said they're probably doing that anyway.
They're not
That's how
gonna go back to campus.
That's how they
Campus
gonna
is
do that.
closed,
Yeah.
so they got to go back and hang out with the rest of us folks that don't want to get sick.
Mhm.
Now it'd be okay if campuses were open and they could all just go to their campus and everybody get sick over there. They'll
yeah.
survive.
Ooh. Can you
But-
imagine? Oh man, can you imagine that? Florida
I think-
State, 10 students fall ill from COVID, die. Ooh, from Florida State. That's all they're gonna say is Florida State University. Florida State University. That's all you're gonna hear is the school. That's all you're gonna hear. Them schools don't want none of that. Like, nope, just go back home. Harvard gave them folks like a week to go back home. They're like,
Yeah,
hey,
go kill grandma at home.
they're like,
You know,
not
some
gonna
of
do-
them, that's how they're gonna get that check.
Mhm.
So, this inheritance ain't gonna get itself, man.
They said, no. They said, get up out of here. You can't stay in our dorms. You're not gonna put it on us.
And then they ain't gonna allow it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be crazy though. The economy, you know, people want it. Like I said, Trump wants this thing opened up by Easter. They asked him why,
He's crazy.
and he said because it's a special day to him, and that's all I need.
Money.
It's a special day. The boss needs it.
That money.
Our niggas gotta get back to work.
That money.
It's ridiculous what Trump is doing, bro. It's ridiculous, bro.
I knew it too. I knew it.
it's like-
I said I knew it. I said, he gonna.
It's hilarious, but it's ridiculous, bro.
It's
Yes,
like
really.
Pirates of the Caribbean. What they said, the guy said, "What you guys want to live forever?" you gotta get back to work. You know, that's what y'all expect to live forever. You gotta go either way. so it is ridiculous. We've never thought we would be in this position, but
No, I did.
What is-
I did.
what is
I knew it.
America?
I knew it. I knew
America
it.
is a machine.
Yes.
What is America without the machine moving? Y'all talking about stopping the whole machine.
Stop it all.
We're cool with stopping if everyone else is stopping. But the next guy that's up, the number 2 player is already off the ground. We gotta go.
Because when they said stop, like the folks actually stopped.
Yeah,
Right,
they
like-
stopped. But we were saying, nah, it's nothing. Trump was saying,
And that was our problem.
and now we down. And China ain't saying, okay, America, get back up. China like, nah, we back up and running. We can't allow it, bro. If you're number 1, you have to be number 1.
Mm-mm.
And this machine has to keep going. So I don't. It's kind of messed up.
Yeah,
But what if
that's
America,
what China will surpass us because one, they're too they're too disciplined.
statistically, in the long run, they were going to surpass us anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't have a strength. They will.
Yeah, they have. It's a generations once. It's a once in. But we're doing all we can to stifle them. You know what I'm saying? We took their biggest companies like Yahweh. We blocked them. You know what I'm saying? All their biggest companies, Alibaba, we put tariffs on. We basically keeping our foot on the next, keeping them at number 2. This shit right here was the game changer. We thought, y'all got the disease, that China shit. And then they don't realize now it's over here on us. We think we're just gonna brush it off like it's
They're still the alley-oop.
they just throw the alley. Exactly. But they had a discipline to shut down their whole cities. They're spraying everything out. You seen their police gear? Those guys have they're issuing out police visors. The thing has like a thermal reader on there. They can check your body temperature right from the police. We ain't got no shit like that here, bro.
Really?
Yeah, bro. China, it's almost like they make disease and they're already ready for the disease. It's wild. We ain't even on that level because we basically telling people do whatever you want.
Building a whole hospital in a fucking week, like damn, like
it's different level. So if the machine, I can't blame them. China had a bad look as far as the China thing. The whole world economy is slowing down. They produce for everything. So if the world don't believe in them, if China goes down,
we're not gonna have an effect anyway. I mean.
Well, the U.S. The U.S. don't produce anything, but the rest of the world needs production too. They all need ventilators. They need someone to produce all this stuff. They're back up and showing. People don't care what caused the problem. They care about who could save it. Mm-hmm. China's going back up. They're in the position now. They're about to start helping out the rest of the world.
But what does that do with trades? Like, because we got like most things like being made from China. So like, how do you even?
We were trying to pivot to not go to them. Some people already started when they closed down their stuff for their 2 months. People started finding other countries to go to. Started getting trade there. But then those places started getting coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? So while everyone was down, not worrying about it taking forever, China shut everything down. They took their 2 months, lock everything down, no trade, no nothing. And now they back up. That shit is fucking crazy. And even if they still got a couple cases they're not explaining, and that's what happens when you have a dictatorship in a sense.
that news don't even get out.
It don't even get out. And people saying we're trying to saying it's messed up. But what do you expect when you got to control 1 billion people? People never take that into account. People saying they need to stop eating the crazy stuff. How you control 1 billion people? You know what I'm saying? Some people are going to eat some weird shit. It's going to happen before. It's going to happen again.
Like, you got to have, a dictatorship. You can't have rights, man.
Yeah, it's too many people. Well, you don't have to. Just don't have 1 billion people. Break apart.
Listen, dictatorship works for poor countries.
Yeah.
Gotta get them out of being poor countries, but eventually they're going to leave that dictatorship once they get the money, but
not in China's watch, because a lot of those places are fighting. Remember, China, they were fighting for freedom. A lot of those places before. Remember, they was having riots going on before this happened.
So, what was it? Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, yeah. So
Hong Kong was the only part that had like some type of democracy, but
from the British, right?
And they're supposed to be British.
Yeah, they're supposed to be folding back into China. But they didn't have that taste of freedom, so they acting a fool. Now that Rona hit them, and now everybody fall right back in line.
All right, so do you guys think the NBA is what really made this thing take off?
It helped somewhat.
It definitely helped. I think it because especially in America we're selfish, right? So right when we saw like something that like was very close to us, you're like, oh man, this might be for real, like. Especially, and I feel bad for Gobert, right? Because, again, who knows where he got it from, right? But he just happened to do that dumb thing where he was touching the microphones and then, boom, the next day
I feel bad for LeBron.
Yeah.
For who?
For LeBron.
LeBron got it?
Niggas know what this season was about to happen.
LeBron was about to get a chip this year.
Yeah.
It was happening. This would be
It was going to make LeBron have a chip, yeah.
Oh, we was definitely getting it.
But they plan on resuming the season in September.
I think they're gonna shorten it, and then they may just call it regular season and go straight to playoffs.
But anything could happen. This is NBA. This is magic, bro. Anything could happen in a little break. Players that weren't shining in the first half didn't come back. Niggas balling this time. Steph is back again. Anything could fucking happen, bro. So he was on that momentum, man. This shit could make all the difference.
Nah, no matter what happens, Lakers gonna win.
Lakers gonna win that. Lakers getting that. So man, Florida State was balling in college basketball, man. Like this, this is the worst season for me. I was like, this hurt me, man. It's hurt me.
They pushing back the Olympics. They said that. They officially said they were pushing back the Olympics.
Yeah, they just been postponing it, but everybody already knew. Ain't nobody was.
Yeah. I was wondering what they was waiting for. I was like, okay, thank you. Like,
NFL news.
Like y'all can continue to say y'all gonna throw the Olympics, but ain't nobody gonna show up.
Nobody showing up.
Yep. And NFL news, Brady finally got that switch.
Yeah, they got Jameis out of there.
Yeah, out of all places, why Tampa Bay?
They dumb enough to pay him.
How does Tampa even have a team?
Tampa's desperate.
Yeah.
How does Tampa even have a team? We should be
I
absorbed
think he
to
chose Tampa.
Orlando.
He chose to go to Tampa.
Go where, Nate?
I said they should be absorbed and turned into Orlando. That's one of the
I
markets
thought
that
you
don't
said he
deserve.
should have went to
Still
Orlando
wonder why they
Magic.
didn't have a team.
You know,
I
Nate
said-
don't know nothing about no damn sports.
I said, why they even have a team? But when they're bringing up the NFL season and all that, do they even know if we're going to even have it? It still might be shut down.
Let's see.
When
When the preseason start?
It starts like late August, early August.
We should be good by then. We should be. All
We
the
should
estimates
be
say we
for
should be good
big
by then.
gatherings by then, I think.
I don't know if anything's.
And we'll be hungry too.
It
And we're gonna
depends
be
on
hungry
what
too.
happens. It
Right.
depends on if the country shuts down or not.
Sure.
If we don't shut down, it ain't happening. But
Right.
if we take it serious and we're not all like Nate,
I'm checking it. I'd be at home.
Yeah.
I'd be at home. I'm like, they just need to set some ramifications, say some stores. Here's what you do. Tell the stores, give them 2 hours where old people can shop, and then wait another hour before it can open so whatever's in the air can dissipate, and then go back and open. Have some odd hours.
No, bro, this coronavirus is living on surfaces for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, the surface thing is easy. All the other things are easy.
That's after you hit it with some some Clorox.
No matter what, once you're done, you wash off and clean afterwards. That's
No, bro, they saying after you hit it with the sanitized stuff, it still lasts another 3 days.
Any disease, you got the basic cleaning preparations. The only thing that makes this worse is that it's airborne. So give the people the people that's at
Hey,
most
you're not
risk,
listening, bro.
There's no such thing
After
about
you
after you
clean
hit
it.
it with the cleaning.
Listen, after you clean it,
this is
it
a complete
still
farce.
stay there for a couple days, bro.
That's a complete. Barry, we're gonna speak on this after you clean it. Hit it with some Windex and stay.
I haven't seen that yet, but again, it's so new. Wouldn't shock me.
It's not a thing.
I'm going with CNN. All
I
right.
wouldn't be surprised to see it in this pushing that shit. Because people, man, America's cutthroat, man.
We gotta scare y'all.
The media industry, they're scaring us about everything.
We need to scare y'all. Y'all don't get scared easily. That's the problem. We problem is we try to scare y'all with numbers. Like, hey guys, you know, yeah, okay, whatever. Spring break's coming on. I'm not missing my trip. So, all right, no more bars.
It's the 25% like you, Nate. See, there's 4 people here, 3 people take it serious. You're that 25% that fucks it up for us all.
No. The one that'd be going out and partying would be that. I'm not going out and partying. I'm just saying not to overreact. You got to imagine when people act in fear and act, and they're not acting legitimately. People will sell houses to get them out of a situation. You got to act. I'm saying don't act like the norm. When everybody's panicking, you act with reason. You know what I'm saying? You act with
These kids don't listen to reason. Kids not listening to reason.
Yeah, I'm not telling you act with reason.
They're not listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's whole block parties in Palm Beach, bro.
Yes.
I watched somebody on live like a couple days ago, like full block party with like 500 people
arguing with the cops. You seen that? That was what you're talking about. The live video?
I think that one was in Louisiana or somewhere like that.
There was one in Lake Worth a couple days ago. Arguing with the cops, like they're right down Sea Terrace. Arguing, all this shit is wild. Bro.
But there was another one in Miami too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
We're not we got people upset that they can't. Oh, my spring break got canceled. They won't let me go to the beach. Like they put on CNN. I think it was Fort Walton Beach. Full. Yeah. Few days right after we said, hey guys, like get away from people, and it was full that next day. And
that's why we need leadership, because everyone's doing their own thing. Even right here in Orlando, we got Volusia Beach and all that. A couple of the beaches up here are still open. They closed the parking lot, so you can't park there. All you do is take an Uber to there, get dropped off.
It's because we have a shitty ass governor that won't shut the state down. Won't shut it down himself.
Yep.
Yeah. But what good is it? You're gonna need to stop people. You can't go state to state hop. You can't.
The main economy are the beaches, so it's hard. You know what I'm saying?
We got all these old fucks. What happened? They died. They're the main people that's the victim of this. That's why you gotta shut down Florida, because once these old people start dying, that's what I'm saying. If it was in DeSantis,
it's really this bill right now, like yeah.
If Orlando could shut down the theme parks, they could shut down the beaches.
Hotels, restaurants.
And that should tell you all, if Disney could be like, we're shutting down, should tell you that should tell you the level of seriousness.
Yeah, if Disney could shut down the theme parks, Florida could shut down the beaches. You know what I'm saying? We're a tourist town. They shut down the theme park. It's like So it don't make any sense. But
I mean, imagine the amount of people who pay for that plane ticket like months ago to go to Disney, and now it's like, nope.
the good
Disney
thing about
closed.
it, like I said, they paying everyone back. You get your refund. You get the fly back cheaper.
They
all
usually,
that stuff.
I think they give a lot of people credit. I don't know if they giving refunds.
They ain't giving no refunds, bro.
Yeah, you can get credit. Yeah,
you get credit or you can reschedule, but they ain't sending nobody back no money.
Yeah, they'll be strict on that. They'll throw. Yeah, that's true. But it's just it's a crazy time, man. As far as that, I'm just saying, as far as people not thinking, I'm saying take precaution for the elderly folks, etc. But it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, young folks too now. Young folks are getting sick now. They, maybe not in certain numbers, but
don't know, Nate.
Listen, man, young folks have way more shit to worry about, man. Way worse shit to worry about. Not to say, I'm gonna say take precaution for the elderly now, mind you, but well, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Young folks in the long game. Young folks, we're on trend for having the lower lifespan than our previous generations because of obesity. Which this break ain't gonna help any better. Our generation is already getting fucked in the long run, anyways. Young folks have higher things to kind of worry about. I'll tell you, just have a little bit of perspective is what I'm telling you. Not as bad as they say, but not to say it's not serious. I mean, I stay home, so I'm not telling you not to advocate, but the sky is
do not stay home, bro. Every time I talked to you 4 times today, every time you was not home.
Yeah, because I went to grab. I'll go grab something for the thing, but I'm at the house majority of the time.
All right, Nate, I still have one more question. Why are you still getting red boxes, bro?
What do you mean?
You told us you. This is why we started so late. It's because you had to drop off a red box. Why are you still using red box, bro?
Well, I had the red box because they had the Superman animated movie came out. And then
it's on the Fire Stick, bro.
I don't have it on Fire Stick. In the DC universe that I pay for, they don't get it to like a month or 2 months down the line. They're on some bullshit. So it's only $1.50 to go rent it. So I rented it yesterday. And I got Knives Out. I don't even places like Redbox are making money now again.
You said what?
Places like Redbox might start making some money again. Right
no,
now,
they're not making money, bro. You're the
right
only
now,
one using Redbox.
Yeah, you're the only one going out there.
Yeah, I haven't used a red box.
I haven't used. That was my first time. I was like, I need to listen. Right now,
for the past 3 days, you've been telling me you have to return red boxes, bro.
No, get out of here.
Wildin'.
Right now, during the lockdown, there's some companies making some bread. You got people like Uber Eats is making some
Eats,
money.
DoorDash, Postmates.
Redbox, people ain't got shit to do.
Redbox ain't making no money, Nate. You have to stand in line at the Redbox.
Yeah, you give the people their 6 feet. You know what I'm saying?
There was no damn line, bro.
Because remember, Redbox is inside the Publixes and everything else. You assume everyone got most people ain't got the jailbroken Fire Stick life. A lot of people either pay for subscriptions or going to the movies. And some movies they're streamlining in the Redboxes. That's their because the movie theaters are shut down right now. Like
they're not going to Redbox. They're going to your streaming service.
No, they have to go to. They have contracts. They have to go to Redbox first. They have to go to. That's the contract. They send these things already. They'll go to Redbox first, then they'll go to streaming service. Like Knives Out just came out maybe 2 months ago. I just watched that on Redbox yesterday, and then they'll go to the streaming service. They have contracts. They're not just jumping in line. If I sign the deal with you, you go to the movie theater, then Redbox is the streaming service. You're not just gonna. You have your obligations. You're not gonna just.
No, these movies that were supposed to be released in movie theaters are not going to Redbox. They're going straight to the streaming platform.
Correct.
Right now.
But I'm telling you, but some of them that would already have a deal to be on Redbox, they still have to honor the deal. That's how it goes. It's a license.
I'm just letting you know you should have been stopped using Redbox.
No, but even Redbox has streaming service. You can stream
you're
Redbox.
not using them because you're
that movie came out on DVD though. That's the reason. But even they have streaming service. But right now is a good time for people to be looking at some stocks.
I'm just thinking you need to take this coronavirus more seriously.
I'm looking at it serious. I'm looking
at your health.
I'm looking at it as a futurist. I'm looking at the falling stock prices. I done jumped on a bunch of stocks this last few things have been pivoting down, giving bailouts and stuff. I thought we were capitalists out here, but that's it. That's all. That's all. I just been watching things. I watch
that little bump was just from the stimulus. I ain't really anybody buying.
Which one? As far as jumping up? I'm expecting for it to fell even more.
It is gonna go down further too. So.
Yeah.
Have you guys bought any stocks during this little crisis?
No.
I bought me Carnival Cruise. I bought me Uber. All these guys that are losing, that's gonna have to come around that we do it anyways.
I mean, I got friends telling me, I need to look into Boeing, a lot of the airplane stocks.
I bought
Delta.
me American Airline.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I bought me American Airline.
Yeah, I bought those. Yeah.
These are companies that you're not a country if they're not operating, so they're gonna get a bailout regardless. It's almost like it's a no-brainer. So who knows? Let's see how it works out. We got any other absurdities you want to hit on?
Let's see. We're talking about the quarantine. Oh, we had the white supremacists saying that they're planning on giving the virus to black folks and anyone who's not white and police officers.
Are they planning on getting it themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, this virus is not just like something you put in a syringe and go poke it.
Right.
Statistically, it's been wiping out the white areas far more than it's been doing the black. So they gotta look out.
Yeah. So is there a way to transfer this thing? I mean,
remember, just like 2 weeks ago, black folks thought they couldn't get coronavirus.
Yeah.
They said they couldn't. They said they couldn't die from it. They always knew they could get it. They said they couldn't die for it. Then there's a couple cases of death, but I knew that was always like an online rumor.
Yeah, it's just ignorance.
Ignorance.
Also, like another effect, like what this have on like people being like quarantined, staying at home, like on their mental and
going crazy.
Imagine
there's definitely a lot more therapists and psychiatrists who are offering telehealth services. Mm-hmm. I think just in the medical field in general, we're going to see a big push for telemedicine. That even once August or September comes around, I think people are going to be very comfortable being able to talk to their doctor, via Skype, right? So they're not going to even want to come to your office anymore. Like, doc, can we just do a telemedicine thing? Like, I feel like that's going to happen.
This is going to change how we function completely, bro.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
So all this social distancing, it might not go back to regular social stuff. We might not hang out with each other no more. The podcast might permanently be this.
Yeah, man.
This will work. We get a lot of guests.
People be very comfortable. I've been telling Nate. I said, "Oh, Nate, I should do this." I've been telling Nate though. I should do the video.
Yeah, we don't listen, man.
I said, "Oh no, y'all do video. Then y'all can just get people hop in, boom, hop out, like quick, fast." That's how I usually get most of the doctors on mine.
You just give them the Zoom?
Give them the Zoom.
Yeah, it's crazy. My thing is, another thing is the way this shit's gonna, with the schooling thing is wild.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be the biggest thing from an educational standpoint. If you're a parent, right, like, do you allow your kid like to graduate? Do you hold them back? And
it makes no sense to hold them. I don't even know how to give that option. Who would want to hold them? They said it's your choice. If you want to make them start another year. What parent's going to tell their kid they can wait another year? You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I'm saying if the college is going to accept them.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. It's like this year don't matter.
We just know the 2024 class is a bunch of retarded kids that don't know much.
Put an asterisk on that class. That's it.
Just put an asterisk on the graduating class of 2024 when it comes to like bachelor degrees.
Mm-hmm. And especially because you figure most of the people, they're usually taking their SATs, ACTs around this time frame to get into college in August, September, right? So that's not going to happen, right? Enrollment's you expect enrollment to drop sharply, right, for universities around. So of course everything's money, right? They're looking at the money aspect of it, right? So they're like, oh my God, if we had less students to come in, I mean, that's less money coming in as well too. So it's gonna be some very interesting times, especially once it kind of settles around that August, September frame, and then all of a sudden, like again, you got people who not graduating, right? People who not starting, right? Like, for example, we got medical students, right, who, they ain't been to school for the past, like a month and a half now, right? And they're not talking about opening school for them. So now you're going to have, doctors, lawyers. You're going to have not just, elementary, high school people. You're going to have a lot of professional folks who like, hey, like I'm out in the real world, but like, yeah, I wasn't in school for like the past 6 months.
A lot of
Hey, this your time, Nate.
To be a
This
doctor.
your time, bro.
So
Go ahead and take a couple classes, finish that degree up, bro.
Slip it and come out and be a doctor. That means even with doctors, they're gonna have the asterisk in that class too. That's it.
There's some folks we watching. I'm like, okay.
You got it. You must have got into that. Must have got it in 2020. That's it. It's just wild how much things is impacting. Like when you go to the airport, when I was there, you flying in planes, Boeing jets and shit that only got 12, 13 passengers.
Oh yeah, oh my God, I could imagine flying right now.
You know what I'm saying? It's just empty, bro. And these companies are operating at a loss just because they're keeping everything afloat. It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, they're already grounding planes and yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you both of you guys, Nate and Barry, have children that are like supposed to be in school. How are you guys handling the homeschooling?
I know a lot of the teachers are doing kind of like electronic video classrooms at certain time frames. We ended up just getting like we're privileged, right? So we got iPads, right? So we got the ABC Mouse and Starfall. So we have like certain time frames, like all right, 9 to 10 Starfall, 12 to 1, PE, and then like so we got like separate times where we're like kind of forcing them, but you get tired, you're like, all right, guys, we're not gonna do that today.
So what about you, Nate?
What us is they just got back off vacation. They're supposed to be starting their school system on Monday, but in between time they got them taking not ABC class. They have like a thing called I forgot the name of it, but there's a thing that the teachers have them to take in between, like basically like an online program that they do that they fill out and do the thing. So the teachers have their full curriculum set up that they go until then. But my son, who's already been student homeschooled, it's no different for him. He just go on different times. Periodically, you could either share laptops or go get them all their own laptop. The school, my daughter's school, they already have their own laptops. So just get him the other two. iReady is what they have. The system called iReady. But they already have the thing in place. And the company that's doing this recording, like I said, they got over, I think, 250,000 students or student school contracts, something like that. So they're about to power up big time because that's about to be the wave.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the internet about to be booming. Even
my thing is, how long before they realize we don't need that many teachers then?
Even more.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Like, because if everything goes digital, you can have one teacher teaching like 500 students.
That's the long con. They're gonna give the teachers a raise. The few that's left, they're gonna break that union one way or the other. That's one of the few unions we have left in Florida, the teachers union. So that's
we're gonna fight it because again, like imagine if my kids need to go to school because I got to go to work, right? Like.
That's what I'm saying. We're going full socialists out here. They're talking about paying. In this package is got for daycare. They're covering for pieces.
Right.
This thing, everything that people were talking about, AOC a couple weeks ago, they're talking about she's too radical. All the stuff she was mentioning is all in this package. Daycare, what's the name? Once they're throwing dental in there, it's a wrap, bro. We basically in the UK now. It's as long as we cover that.
So we're forced to switch over to socialism. So.
We've always been socialists. We hate when the socialism is for poor folks.
True.
Yeah.
Like that's always been our biggest issue, right? Like I be telling Nate all the time, like the amount of tax breaks I get, right, at the tax bracket I'm in, right? Like I'm like, why? I don't even understand why. Like, why are y'all giving me these tax breaks for? Like, why do I need it? I don't even need it, but they give it to me. I gotta take it, right?
Yeah.
Right? But like. If a person needs a wig, I gotta take it. I my account. I pay the account. I can pay the accountant to make sure I take it. My account won't let me not take it. He's like, oh, we gotta write this off. Like this gotta.
It'd be dumb not to.
I gotta take advantage of the system.
Some years you have no choice but to get a new car. And what reason do you give it to Uncle Sam? I get this new car. You have no choice but to get a new car. You know what I'm saying? What options do you have? They're making like that. So it's a crazy thing like that, but. Yeah, we don't know how long it's going to last. The longer this lockdown lasts, the more socialist we're going to turn. And so it might work. And then once you give Americans certain benefits, it's hard to take them back.
Hard to take it away from them.
Hard to take them back. And then we're going to have to make the tax. The fact that they was able to slip
this might start the universal income. The universal income, the UBI.
The fact that
this might be the start.
Talking about the basic income.
Yeah, sure.
Might be the start.
Yeah, good to that.
Because that 1,200 gonna go by quick.
The UBI never made sense to me, anyways.
It's nothing anyway.
Yeah, it's nothing.
It never made sense to me. That's just saying that the robots are coming. There's nothing we can do about it. Instead of just keeping them out, but it could be. That's exactly what.
1,200 inflation just gonna go up by a little bit, and it's
exactly. Eat that right up. Eat that right up. That's.
I mean, even that. That's not even that's barely a rent.
Yeah, but you won't have any rent.
Some people only pay $8 for rent, so
yeah, and you won't have any rent because they're suspending that.
Suspending
people aren't gonna be able to get kicked out for their mortgages, which I don't know how they're gonna enforce that. If I own my property outright, I'm renting it out. You can't tell me I can't.
So what about everything that comes with it? Property tax, insurance, all that stuff, maintenance.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the person maybe to rock it off.
I just paid electricity not too long ago. Like I thought, like damn.
Yeah. The way they've been
break, like
listen, the way they're cutting checks out, they're like
cell phones, internet.
It's wild.
Even for your little streaming services, cable and Netflix, Hulu.
Exactly.
What do they do? What do they do with all the homeless folks at this time?
Oh yeah, about that too. Yeah, they're out there. I mean,
some of the I think Chicago is designating hotels that would be just for the homeless.
Yeah,
but you can do that when you lock down now. When you lock down your area, you can do that. Like that's what you can do when you lock down your area.
Yeah, but you don't want that to be public information,
right?
Because
yeah, that's what I was saying about Chicago too. Like I was looking,
if you're a hotel brand, you don't want it to be known that this is where all the homeless people was at this Hilton.
Yeah, and you don't want to be the house living next to that.
But you gotta imagine if I'm a Hilton, right? And I was supposed to go up to Chicago to stay in that Hilton, and now I'm staying my ass home. Yeah. Shit, somebody need to fill that room. And now the city of Chicago about to pay for it? Yeah, come on in.
Yeah, you're right. True.
Come on in. We need it.
If it's too close to a residential area, you ain't having it. You're like, I'm going to sell this house now. When I got hobos living next door, they would say, you ain't having it. So they lockdown times when you can pull off this kind of stuff.
Right, yeah, definitely lockdown. Oh, trust me, the second they get a chance, they put them all out of there. They all out of there.
So places like LA, which is why I see like San Francisco with the most homeless population. I could see why. I don't even know what they're doing with other things. I know they have the fastest growing. Them in New York, the fastest growing cases.
Mm-hmm.
But, there's so much people there.
But how much security do you have to provide when you open up a hotel that's like 500 rooms to homeless people?
That's a very good question.
There's a lot of mental health in the homeless community, so. There's gonna have to be like a whole police force down there at that hotel.
Yeah. So also what that does to the brand too, to your brand.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, bro. That's so much. That's why you can't be too hard on these politicians or these leaders, because a lot of these decisions are difficult decisions to make.
Yes.
Yeah, when Trump had to admit that we might be headed to a recession, I felt like he looked like he was about to cry, bro.
Well, he's been banking. That's been his thing. Like, oh, that's strong economy. And now we about to go down on his watch.
Yeah,
he been bashing Obama for the longest.
Yeah, I felt like his heart was broken. Though. I know he said it like, we might be headed to a recession. I'm like, Jesus, that took everything out of Trump.
Yeah,
that's why he wants to get things back. Because if you don't got the economy to tout on. He's
definitely done so.
But I feel like we ain't been hearing from Bernie or Joe Biden since this Rona thing happened.
Yeah, well, they can't campaign.
Technically, Trump could ask for you know what I'm saying, push back the elections.
Well, it depends on how
I would say this year deserves.
It depends on how we handle this. If we don't go on lockdown, ain't gonna be no time for no election.
Exactly. Indefinite. Definitely.
That's why Trump is trying to get the country back to working, because he already know if we all go back to working, we all gonna get sick.
That's it.
Then we're gonna have to really go into a lockdown, and that lockdown is gonna be for about 6 months. Ain't gonna be no presidential election. Trump got this whole thing planned out, bro.
That's too funny.
Yeah, because
he's like, guys, I'll just keep the seat warm for y'all, and then we'll maybe in December or January we'll talk about running this again.
Because when I came down, it was the Florida primaries. I didn't even get to vote because everything was on lockdown. I didn't realize it, but they actually
That's not
still
true.
had the elections here. They
That's
still have the
not true,
elections.
mate. You didn't want to vote.
No, that's not true. I didn't want to vote. I didn't even think to vote. Everything was locked down. Everything it just came back.
I was working at
and I realized it was the
I was
primaries.
working at the precincts, so I know the.
How packed was the precincts?
The turnout was decent. It wasn't.
Well, I was at this shit
expected to. It was more than we expected.
Okay, where I was at, this shit was dead. I was like, I'm surprised they even kept the things, the polls open after.
They should have postponed it, but look where we live, bro. We live in Florida, bro. This governor is trash.
Exactly.
It's. I mean, I guess they figure it's a Democratic primary, it's a Republican state anyway, so they don't care what happens to us.
What are you talking about? It was a primary that it was
the demographic
and Republican.
To vote the voting thing. So yeah, they kept that going. That was kind of wild though.
But there was other local elections too, so it wasn't just the primaries because some actually voting on people to elect.
Yeah, those are the most important.
Because I know Bernie just said he's gonna do the next he's supposed to do the next debate against Joe Biden. He just said it today.
He needs to drop out, bro. Bernie got washed this last
primary. He may not need to drop out because right now, how's Biden gonna say all this stuff he's talking about? Bernie could just bring up everything he's saying we should do right now is what we've been saying we should have done, and he wouldn't be lying. All the proposals.
No one wants to listen to the old man. Well, they're both old, but Bernie looks older. So no one looks older, but Bernie, bro, man's too old, bro.
Every time I see Biden talking, just sitting there at a clip of him talking on CNN, he was just rambling like an old man, bro. They don't even know what he's saying, bro.
That boy Sean King keep a highlight of Biden messing up.
Yeah, bro. That's why I asked Sean King. I was like, how you plan on playing this out? Because when he ends up becoming the official thing, I don't see how people are gonna vote for him, bro. After you did this, I understand just highlighting Bernie's successes, but to bring down Bernie, to bring down Biden every day, you gonna make that turn out horribly low, bro. Yeah, every time I wake up, Sean King I got Biden looking like this man senile, bro, like an old man. And it's not hard to do, bro. Biden just be talking crazy. Biden's the biggest thing.
That can be your next president, though. There's a high chance that could be your next president.
Correct. Yeah, pretty much. If this shit don't turn around, it probably is going to be. I don't see people being too enthusiastic about Biden, but who knows? All the Democrats.
If Trump completely fucks this thing up, which he's doing now, Biden's gonna be the next president.
True. Yeah.
Maybe we could finally get a third-party candidate in. If things get completely fucked up,
I don't think so because they should have been campaigning right now, and I haven't heard anything from them.
They couldn't. It's not their primary right now, anyway. So you have to pick the Democrat. With them. You could come out. Someone that got knocked out could come back around.
Well, you said that there's no.
America's in a position it's never been before. After this lockdown, we're gonna be in a whole different mind state, man. We might be like, you know what, both sides were wrong, or this, that. Who knows? It's
right now would be a great time for the independents to shine, but yeah, we didn't show up.
No independence here.
Yeah,
not in the U.S.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, that's all. Who knows? I guess because there are talks of Bernie trying to go with Kamala Harris or something like that.
Because I voted independent last time. Yeah.
You voted. You mean you signed? You're registered independent.
I voted independent.
You voted for an independent candidate. You registered or you voted for an independent
candidate?
Yeah, they did. They had that Green Party dude, him and the lady.
Yeah.
Oh, the lady Stein.
Yeah, Stein. Yeah, they have him.
That's who you wasted your vote on.
Yeah, that was definitely a. Vote.
Yeah, you just wasted.
Do that vote in the trash. No way I'm waiting in line that long.
Yeah, for a waste. Yeah, for a waste of vote. Yeah, there's no point in that one.
Hey, you gotta start somewhere, man.
Okay.
You gotta sacrifice it somewhere. We need a third party, man.
We definitely do need a third party, but I don't see it.
Two parties not a choice. It's just they could just make a deal between each other and they just become one. Just.
Pretty much. You probably can't get nothing done in the U.S. So who knows? We'll see.
We haven't that bill passed yet, but people at the top already got their money. So,
But here's the thing: even with the $2 trillion deal, we still gonna highways. Remember how they were saying how that's supposed to be the
But
next thing?
that's been the talk. I
Yeah,
mean,
been talking about that.
That's been the talk, but that's supposed to be the one, like almost like you're gonna keep the work numbers high because you're gonna have everybody can work. So that bill still needs to be passed. What's that gonna be? Another $1 trillion?
yeah.
How is this sustainable, bro? You just keep adding to the debt, it's wild.
You keep printing till finally, then, yeah.
We say adding to the debt, but who's the debt? Who's the debt? Who owns the debt?
The Federal Reserve. They don't
if I'm in debt to like Wells Fargo, right?
But the Federal Reserve is its own entity.
Yeah, so, but we own it.
No, we don't.
In a sense, we don't own
reserve. Don't the U.S. have its own reserve?
No,
it's
not really.
They're everywhere in the world. They're like I said, outside of 2 countries.
Yeah, it's its own entity. In fact, it pays a dividend. So that's how you know it's not even. We don't even own it. Yeah, they pay 6% dividends to the owners.
Who owns it?
The Rothschild family.
Who knows? Yeah, the wealthy, the super wealthy. They got what's name. That's a different thing, but I guess as long as we're their favorite, we're good. We're good standing. That's why I'd be telling Gray it don't matter what the money switch to, because as long as we're their favorite.
Oh no, it matters.
I don't see them going out of pocket.
It matters because then what you have in your pocket, you can't buy nothing with it. Then what do you do?
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that to America though. I don't think inflation.
You don't think, you don't know. You don't know.
And we have too much of a strong army for anybody to treat us like that.
Correct.
Yeah, an army that also works in their benefit. That's the difference. I'm saying most of the places that don't have a Federal Reserve, we're the one that implemented to help them get one. So I don't see you saying that's why I said as long as we're their favorite.
So that's why we
probably do us like that.
Iran, North Korea, and
so
they're the only two that doesn't have it.
Yeah, and who's the army that's constantly at their neck? It's us. You know what I'm saying? So, as long as we're over the service, I think we got that protection that they won't switch up the funds on us. Because that shit, when it hits overnight, but like I did this in Brazil, that inflation's something serious.
Yeah. You talking about Venezuela?
Yeah, Venezuela. When I said Brazil.
Venezuela, yeah.
Brazil got one too right now, right? Yeah. Brazil's going through some shit right now, ain't it?
They are, yeah.
They're with inflation.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
So it's crazy. Do we have anything else? I think we might have wrapped everything else. You got Future and his baby mama still going through it. She says she wants, what is it, $50,000 a month? What was the crazy number? I was just looking at it earlier today.
Man, we're just running right now.
Yeah. She ain't gonna get it anyways. With that, when as many baby mamas he got out there, so
you gotta set up like a virtual court.
Yeah, she wants $53,000 a month.
Oof.
My God.
For what?
You're not getting that.
What's that? $600,000 a year?
Yeah, you're not getting it because if you strike his 8th kid, they're not.
I think that's probably more the issue in itself because he had so many.
Yeah.
To provide, because he got the money to be with us. Because 600 ain't. I'm assuming it ain't much if he's making millions a year.
Yeah, but what's the odds? You're gonna give everyone 6? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All the other baby mamas making that? That's not gonna happen.
Gotta drop more mixtapes here.
That's the problem. They can't tour. I mean, they can't tour. That's
yeah, right now, yeah, you can't tour, right?
That's money.
Because that's what they make for their money. Their main, it's some touring.
This is the time where he should ask for them to reevaluate the child support. Show that income as zero.
About that, every guy who got a child support, in fact. Anybody who got child support, yeah.
When they're not working?
Yeah, I can't go to work.
Yeah, so about that, like, what's the deal on that, child support? I don't know.
If you're not working, I imagine, who knows, they got it all figured out. I guess you're gonna still get income. Not income. You're gonna get the little stimulus package, and you still get your little stimulus package, and you still get unemployment in the time being. Small businesses get grants. Some of them get loans. Just depends.
Imagine if they don't give the stimulus package goes out, but all these guys that are backed on child support,
They don't get it.
money end up getting sent to the baby mom. There's gonna be a lot of dead mothers out here.
That's probably what's going to happen because it's doing it off of your tax thing.
Thing, right? So yeah,
you know what happens with your tax ID when people that owe back child support, you don't get your.
Yeah, I can see it getting refurbished. Like, no, we need that.
Yeah, it goes right to the mom. Yeah, that's.
It's a pandemic right now, bro. They're gonna have to overlook that. It's a pandemic out here.
With all these closures, all these businesses that's closing, the restaurants, bars, you got sports. I mean, basically anything non-essential. So, like, yeah, it's gonna be a big impact. It's a lot of money gonna be lost now.
Absolutely. Some of these fast food places are making a killing though. They could still open. You know, we had got a little bougie on them, trying to be organic, not eating there anymore. Now look at you. McDonald's, Checkers, all of them are like, look at us. Who's there when you need you? Who's there? all of them still open.
I don't know. Will Chick-fil-A consider opening on Sunday now? So, I mean,
yeah, that's crazy.
They need to be open for the country now. If they don't open on Sundays, that's a terrorist organization. But the country and the need that it is, if Chick-fil-A decide to close their door on Sunday, we can consider them a terrorist organization, bro.
Oh man.
I don't have any other absurdities. You guys got anything in mind before we wrap up? You got anything?
Not much. Well,
Dr. Barry, give the people your information.
Yes. Dr. Barry, host of Lunch Learn with Dr. Barry. I do a weekly podcast on Mondays. Yeah, Mondays. We talk about all health and public health related things. You can find me everywhere at Dr. Barry Pierre, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Where else am I at? Snapchat, right? Like, and the website, of course. Right. All of that at drbarrypierre.com as well.
All right.
So you have a TikTok yet?
TikTok. I have the TikTok. I usually use these social media things like real estate. So anytime a social media thing pop off, I go log in and I just take my name, my username there. That way I don't walk in and someone already take it. So I'm over it. I've never made a TikTok though.
Okay.
I've never made a TikTok.
Challenges.
I see these challenges. I'm like,
all right, but Dr. Barry, we appreciate you coming on today.
Yes, I appreciate it.
In the middle of this global pandemic.
Yes, anytime.
Give people some knowledge, because we usually just give people the foolishness and entertainment. We was glad you was able to come through and at least give us some knowledge and try to convince Nate that this is a serious occasion.
Serious, very serious.
Takes it seriously.
Please.
Talk with the old folks, man. Grandma and grandpa, y'all look out for them. Those are pre-existing conditions. Stay in the house. The rest of y'all, just, you know what I'm saying? Keep your distance, keep your hands clean. That's it.
Dude, Freddie.
That's I look at it, but let's hope we're wrong. I'm just saying. And give them what's our sign off? What do you have?
But you already know what to do. Hit us up on That's What Sir Pod on Instagram, That's What Sir Pod on Twitter, That's What Sir Podcast on Facebook. And if you want to drop a voicemail, you can always hit us up at 407-900-6076. That number is 407-900-6076. And being that we're going virtual, we can have a lot more guests on the podcast. So Nate, you can work out the guest list.
All right, I'll check into see who we got.
So check on some folks to see if they want to jump on the pod, and we will catch you guys next week. Hopefully this audio comes out good. Hopefully this video comes out good. Well, these three.
We already know.
I wasn't sure on your screen. Are you at the bottom left on yours?
I already know 3 of the 4 videos gonna come out nice.
Listen, I'll be up next. I'll be up by the next one with the regular camera. Whatever.
All right, folks. We'll catch you guys next week.
All right,
Thank you
fellas.
for listening. All right, fellas. Thank you guys for coming through. And we is out.